Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Man, so I was like, I was gonna go on even earlier than this because I was like so ready, like so excited to talk to y'all, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, man, I couldn't find my glasses and I broke my glasses and my new ones did not come yet. So I'm like using these like, what is the one called? And it has, it's just the lens and it has the arm. And so you hold it up like that. It's so crazy. And then I tried to, kind of make a like band so that it can, but it's squeezing my face. So that's not working. That's not working either. I'm like batting 1,000. Hey y'all, how was your weekend? What did y'all do? Happy International Female Ride Day weekend follow up. That was definitely amazing weekend. It was like really soggy, a whole bunch of places. California rained. Definitely the East Coast it rained. I don't know anywhere else down south it rained. It was also Ladies in Traffic weekend. Congratulations, ladies, on another successful anniversary. Yeah, so, of course, I was soggy all weekend, but that's nothing new. It's funny because every time, like, I'm riding, my mind processes, like, all of these thoughts. That's why I'm constantly just talking to myself. So I have to figure out a way to develop a system where I can take notes like while I'm riding. Because a lot of times it's good stuff, y'all. It's like good stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. Or I think of this and I think of that. And then when it's time to like execute, half the time I can't even remember what it is that I was supposed to do, even just like things for the bike. I needed to, like my gloves, like I still have not contacted Warm and Safe about my gloves. Like I bought those heated gloves for the Iron Elite. I got those in, I want to say January, like the 3rd week of January, maybe the 4th week of January. The Iron Elite was the 1st week in February. I used them then, and I swear, by like my 3rd iron butt, it was like my coffee ride or something, they had went out. So and now it's May. So probably like you had those gloves for a while. Like now it's not going to be as relevant as it would have been had I reported it 2 weeks after I bought them when they actually went out. So that when I'm riding, like my mind is so open and free, and I just process so many things. But again, I don't really have an outlet to be able to write them down, and I need to figure that out. So I think about that. I'm like, oh, I need to do this. And then when I'm riding too, I think about the different like adjustments or pieces or parts that I want to do to the bike. But then by the time I get home, I'm so ecstatic to be home from the ride. Like, yes, thank you, Lord. Thank you for returning me the way I left. You know what I mean? Because not everybody makes it home. Unfortunately, like the events that, transpired this weekend. So I'm just so grateful to make it. I kind of forget about everything that happened on that ride, what I was thinking about, what I wanted to change. Oh, I need to do this to my helmet. Oh, my pin lock isn't working. Let me get another one. Oh, I don't like how this feels. I need this. All those things are relevant at that moment when I'm going through it. But then once it's over, I'm just like, ugh. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering, like, does that happen to you guys as well? And then I was looking at my ride for my in-state Pennsylvania in the Four Corners, and my GPS, being faulty. And that made me think, like, what other methods do you all use when you're riding? Like, are you solely dependent on your GPS? Do you try to go a route that you're familiar with? Do you talk to other people when planning? Do you have a backup? Do you have a like Garmin, or do you write it down old school? Are you just relying on your phone? Do you have 2 phones? Do you have 3 phones? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Hey guys, hey, hi Brother Hughes, how you doing, little Loki. Hi, sister. Hi, all the sisters are on here. And look, I'm not on the bike, so now all my emojis will really, really work. Let me turn my heater off because it's always like cold in my office, so you'll just keep hearing, it'll just keep coming on. So let's see, like how you guys do, like what your like planning process is. And you know what other question, I got somebody inbox me about my solo riding because I just, and look, she just popped up. Hi, Tim. I'm gonna bring you on. I know, I'm so glad I'm dry too, and maybe you can help with this question too as a male, because so Tiff, hopefully you're available. She inboxed me and she asked me because as you or maybe you don't know, so let me start there. Baby Shark is sick again, so his engine is on the brink of being no more, and so the accident that I had a couple weeks ago jarred some things, and the oil pump stopped working, and this happened. So I was just like by myself. I was in New York. I'm often by myself. Most of, like 90% of the time, I'm by myself. So she asked me, am I ever concerned about riding through sundown towns? And I know there's been conversations about that. Me, myself, you know, I'm aware of them, of course, but I never really thought about it or processed it because I'm the type of person that wants something. Hi, brother. How you doing, Flash? What up, Rick James? I'm the type of person who wants something in my mind. I perseverate about it, and I never want to do that. So although I'm familiar with sundown towns, I never want to focus on that because then now I'm taking myself out of my element, and then I'm thinking this thing, and so everybody's suspicious to me. I'm looking here, is someone going to try to do this or something? Now, I'm always prepared for things that may happen, but I don't want that on my mind because it'll just mess up my ride. You know what I mean? Country, hi. So let me see if sister can come back. So for me, I know that there's a list, and I think Loki, actually you talked about that. So I don't even know if, let me see if you're available to talk about the sundown towns, because I don't know where to actually, I mean, obviously we can look it up, but I myself don't really try to fixate on that because that's not something. Oh, little mama's, hi sister, you're alone a lot too. Let me see, Cuzzo, let's see. I need a male's perspective. Brother Flash, like you don't, let's see. Everybody keeps saying unable to add. Let me see. Who's coming? Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
Doing
No,
so good. I'm trying to get a male's perspective too, because obviously, you know, we ride a little bit differently, and your experience obviously is going to be a little bit different than mine as well. So she was asking about like sundown towns. So I know you don't really have that issue, but as a solo female traveler, because you're alone a lot, do you ever fear riding alone? Does that ever, is there ever like a, I don't know, like a little nagging feeling in the back of your mind, like I really probably should be with someone? And I know everyone has our locations. People having our locations is one thing. So yes, they can track us. They can, hey, a storm's coming. Hey, this is happening. But in the heat of the moment when something's happening, who's there? You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
are you ever fearful of being by yourself, being alone? Like, it's and going different places, because even though sundown towns are, you know, against, you know,
Sketchy.
more or less right, and African Americans or people of color, so you don't really have that issue. But there are some people who are sexist and who don't want women on
I still have that
exactly,
problem.
like, because you be tan sometimes now, you know what I'm saying? So and when you're in
Be
a
like,
helmet,
I don't know
you
about this
don't,
town.
yeah, right, and your body, how it's shaped, like the hips and back, so they may not really know. So do you ever feel uncomfortable in sketchy places, like small places? Have you ever felt uncomfortable?
Yes.
And what did you do? Okay.
I do. I do at times. I mean, if you get that feeling, if you ever get that feeling, you just be like, nah, I don't need to be here. So, but not necessarily, I don't want to say there's times that you go places and you're like, this don't feel good. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Let's just be honest,
Mm-hmm.
and that's whether you're on a bike or not. You know what I'm saying? But on a female being out on a bike, I don't necessarily get that. I guess because I'm alone a lot, just like you are.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to go somewhere, I'm going. And I really, it's like, okay, people do have our locations, and so I don't really worry about that. But if I get that uneasy feeling, I'm like, I don't need to be doing this. I need to get out of here. I'm sure there's times that I'm looking like, whose idea was it for me to do this stuff? Same way you do. And
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? I really shouldn't be doing this,
Mm-hmm.
but not really unsafe. Like I'm scared or anything. I don't really get that feeling like I'm scared. It's more like, this is really something stupid I shouldn't be doing. um but not so much on the unsafe issue. If I feel unsafe, I really like, I need to get out of here.
So, okay, so let me ask you, have you ever experienced, like, so pre-planning, because we try to pre-plan. Have you ever, in your planning, knew there was an area that may not have been the best part to go through? However, you really couldn't circumnavigate any other route, and so you had to go through it. And if that was the case, like, what was your preparation? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there a different place, like, because tensions may have been high, something may have
Yeah.
been happening there, but you still, that's like really the only way that you can go. So how did you, navigate
Well, I
that?
mean, there's places that we're told not to go. I know there's places I need not to go, regardless of the color of my skin. And I try to go around them and also go through them at daylight hours. There's times that I need not to go through there during later evening, hours. um I mean, and we navigate based on what we hear or what we're not supposed to do. Honestly, Piper, me and you both do things we probably shouldn't do.
I'm not.
Yeah, you can agree or not, but we do things that we should not necessarily do. But to pre-plan something that we know that we should not be going at certain times, yes, you try to plan and say, okay, we're not going through here at late at night, and we will bed down.
Mm-hmm.
If you anytime, the goal is being on ground as a woman, to actually listen to our gut, listen to your feeling. That's
Mm-hmm.
the part a lot of people don't choose to do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But especially being a woman out on ground and being a woman by yourself,
Yeah.
not just a woman, being anybody,
Yeah.
listen to your gut, listen to your body, listen to just listen to yourself and say, do I really need to be here? That a lot of times we ignore those things. So those are the things that we need to listen to. And I mean, some of us don't, some of us do.
Absolutely. I'm trying to see like another like solo lady rider, or even like the guys. Um,
Yeah, see if some of the guys, because I'm probably not the best version of this because I'm kind of like you.
mhm,
We go places and do things that we probably shouldn't. But me and you have done it for years too. For
mhm.
the younger, for people that have not done it like we are, we do, we do things that is probably not the safest. And let's just be honest, you can agree and I agree, but we don't.
I mean, and
Um,
it's not that we're trying to not be safe. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's just it's a point where it
We
just so
listen.
happens to be a part, and you're out there and you have to go because you're going to take the ride regardless. We always invite people. I always invite people. I would
I do
love
too.
for more people
Hmm.
to want to go with me, but they can't always, like, you know what I mean? And so what am I supposed to do, to just not go? Like, but the precautions are there. Like, I'm trying to talk to, let me see, like a guy who may have experienced it, because again, they're used to traveling alone, and men will do something different to men than they will for women. But I will say this: when my sisters and I finished the 48 states,
Yeah.
we separated. So I was coming back across, was that on? I was on 70. I guess I was on 70. And I was coming through Nebraska. And it was so crazy. It was right before that big hailstorm, because I'm riding, I'm like excited. We just finished the 48 states. We had a great ride. All of these things, were beautiful. Everything was everything. And I'm riding, and there was a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Full of young, white men,
Mm-hmm.
and they're riding, and they kept getting really close to me, So I'm looking like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? So I get in another lane, then they get in another lane, then I get in the lane, then they get in the lane. And so I noticed, but I had gloves on and everything, because it was like June, but it was still kind of chilly. Like I had heated gear. I don't know how they ascertained that, you know what I mean, I was who I was, or these dudes pulled up beside me, tried to run me off the road on both sides, and they got in front of me. They slammed their brakes on it, and they were just screaming something. Like, when I tell you, I was like, what the? Like, and I had my helmet on, and I'm like trying, and now I'm pissed. Like, and it's like, and it's so crazy. I remember writing a post about it, because they were like, car versus bike. The car is gonna always win. Like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do?
What are
Like,
you gonna do?
like what, you know what I mean? And how big and bad am I really?
Really
The
on the
whole
bike.
pickup truck full of men, and I'm on a motorcycle. Like, you know what I mean? So even trying to get to what I need to get to, like, and that's why I'm telling you, I dream it and I practice it when I'm in like open areas. I practice pulling out, trying to
Yeah.
shoot around the same time, because
Yeah.
I really don't know, because that scared the hell out of me. Like, honestly and truly, and I don't even really share that a lot, because I don't want people to be overly concerned when I'm riding, because I am normally by myself. But that was some
serious
BS,
stuff.
and I don't know if they really intended harm or danger on me, because they could have done it,
Good
or if they
hat.
were hear me or jar me, or like, oh, that's a girl on a bike. Like, again, because I'm all covered up. So for them to even know whether, but it was so crazy, because it was like Trump, 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 Trump all over the place. It was a lot.
Like,
It
that
was
would have
really,
scared
really,
me.
it was nerving. And like I said, I knew where I was, but I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, in my mind, people are crazy,
Yeah,
because
they are.
you know what I
They are.
mean? I just don't know
Mm-hmm.
what they're
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
for. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, what's your ultimate goal?
mm-hmm.
Like, are you really trying to unalive me? Are you trying to scare me? Or are you just playing around? Because horseplay can go the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He asked me that. Like I said, I never really looked it up. I know there are places. I definitely know there are places, and there are. I just try to pray and keep an open mind, and just get to the business. Get to the business, as preacher said. Get
Get
into the
to
business. Get there.
business.
Get my receipts. Go about my
Yeah.
business, because I don't want to hang around places that I'm unfamiliar with, or territory that I'm unfamiliar with, or if I feel someone looking at me. Yep, you can
Yep.
listen.
So Miss Tiff, just to answer your
Yeah.
question, I carry, and
Yes.
yes,
Yep.
Piper
I carry.
carries.
Hey,
We're
bro. So
both.
we're talking about So I got an inbox about, am I ever nervous traveling by myself, and am I afraid of sundown towns? So that's what we were discussing. So as a male, and you often ride by yourself too, which I can't even add you.
Let,
Why doesn't it
let
give
me get
me?
off and add him. See
Okay.
if you can add him.
All right. Let me see. Have you, mamas? Oh, it's still saying. So I can't even, it's not on there for me to be able to add. So that's what we're talking about. So I'm trying to get a so so you can't carry, but you're blocked, so you can't even come on. But are you, when you're riding and you're alone, do you research? So when you're traveling, do you research the towns that you're going through, or do you just go? Like, I need someone, another perspective that's actually gone through it, who's experienced it. Okay, let me see. But when did you go through? Cameron, let's see if you can tell us about your, oh, can't add you either. Man, let me see. Let me see. Yes, Sundown Towns. Are you available, sister? I tried to get you too, because you travel alone, or a lot of times it's just the two of you who are traveling as well. I'm trying to get a perspective of someone who has experienced it or who's gone like through it. Let's see. Because again, I perseverate on things. So if it's in my mind, it's almost like I'm going to be looking for it, and it's innate. So sometimes they say the more you think of it, it's going to come to you. It's going to you 15 more days. Oh my gosh. You need to you need to get on Meek's page instead of your page. You see, you just ride with. I'm sure. But I mean, and I know it's there, and I know it's real. I have not personally experienced it, and I don't have that particular fear of it, but I know that, like I said, it's there, and it's been, and to be honest, like where I live now is not always the best place, and there's still a lot of things happening here that's not great, and you can't get around like at all. So I just try to, again, pray, ride with an open mind, not think about the different things that can or may happen, and I go from there. As far as like my planning, I try to do my routes. Man, I can't add none of y'all tonight. What is going on? Unable to add guests, y'all. And then we talked about, so all these provisions that you put in place so that you don't end up in places that are wrong. What if your GPS fails? What are you doing? What's your backup for that? Like, how are you doing? Let me see. You too, a sister. Y'all are not out there tonight. Are y'all blocked too? Are you guys blocked too? Everybody just has that attitude that they don't, that they're just going to ride. I know I tried to add you, Sister AJ. You can't come on. I'm bringing you on because you travel, so you can still do. So we're talking about, hi, mamas, congratulations on your ride.
Thank you.
Aren't you excited?
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking about, first of all, failed devices. And then I got an inbox about sundown towns. Now I know you and Kodak went together, but even traveling as a couple, African American couple, were you afraid of some of the towns that you were going through in the time of day that you were going through? And I know you talked about you're different, like the hills and stuff that you didn't like, and if you had to turn around quickly or really get out of somewhere, would you be able to like do that? And is that something that you guys discussed before leaving? What's your preparation? Do you guys carry, like, have you ever experienced that, not even just on this trip, on any trip at all? Because going through Mississippi, going through Louisiana, some parts of that, like I'm up here north, West Virginia, Tennessee, some of those states are places that have known like sundown towns. What's your provision? What's your plan?
Yeah, because I know when we were on our way back, and even some parts of Oklahoma, uh, I didn't see a lot of us. And so Kodak just riding, I'm reminding him, hey, we need to watch our speed going through these little towns, because I'm not saying they were, but it was not us in the towns. When we stopped to eat, it was just us, and it was noticeable. So I'm like, hey, that played on my mind when we went through the smaller towns. Like, if it's say 55, 45, 35, let's break it
Mm-hmm.
down, because that's just a reason for us to be spotted. So
Yeah.
I thought about that, but I didn't think about getting out and turning out early, and things like that. But I did think about when we were in the smaller towns, being aware that this stuff really happened. And Kodak has a loud bike. And I'm like, it's great, but also it can bring attention to you,
Yes.
and people hate because you own a Harley already
Absolutely.
and they don't think you should have it. So those kind of things are on my mind when we're riding. Like, we have to be careful that, you could be an innocent person of someone hate just because you own a
Yes.
Harley and you're going through this little town where everybody look like, they still back in the 50s and 60s. So we have to be careful not to bring attention to ourselves. Let's just get through this little place,
Mm-hmm.
So that I thought about.
And just very cognizant that although we're in the 20th century, it's like, who didn't join us? Like, who isn't progressing as we're progressing? So in the midst of like being approached, because again, if you're in that restaurant and you two are the only ones of you in that restaurant, did you feel secure in eating the food? Did you feel safe with the service? You know what I mean? Or were you nervous? Like, are they going to do? Were they hospitable? You know what I mean? Like, did they treat?
Everybody was really nice. So I'm not going to say that, but in my own mind, coming from Georgia, small town, I'm just always aware. No one, I would be able to tell very early if I walked in and felt different. So I didn't feel different, but I was aware, so the people didn't treat us in any way different, but I was aware that, we still need to be aware of what's going on. But no one treated us different. I felt like people was looking, but no one was like, it wasn't uncomfortable, because I've been in uncomfortable places where I just say, you know what, I'm not going to even eat here. But I didn't feel that
And
way.
were you by yourself or were you with
No, with Kodak.
Okay. And so did he have that same feeling or that same interpretation?
And
Like,
I think it's different because, he's from LA. He didn't come from the same space I came from, where, the racism was a little bit different, coming from a little town in Georgia than being raised in LA. So he didn't have the same, I'm always aware because I know the difference, but he wasn't around a lot of that coming up.
I see. So when you're telling him, when you have that feeling, it's not usually likely that he'll have that feeling too. So is he receptive to your energy? Like, oh, if babe doesn't want to be there, then
And it's because after 30 years, I'm very rarely wrong on instinct. And he knows that. So if I, could be being a Virgo, we always searching and analytical and real perceptive of things. So, when I said, he know that I'm not just making it up, because we people read, you can read people. They don't have to say anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. So other than that, you felt good, you had a good time, like
I did. Now I will tell you, I had a hip replacement, my second hip replacement. So, and then I needed to have my knee injections before I left on March 28th, but the doctor called out. So now I'm at a week out and I'm like, oh my gosh, should I cancel, whatever? But I decided to roll with it. I took some leave. I had some 800, a couple perks. So I did it,
That didn't
some patches.
make you sleepy?
Hmm?
It didn't make you sleepy, or is your
I,
body
I only took them
at
those would save at the end of the day.
okay.
But prepping every morning, I would put on I cut patches up, put on where I need to put on. But yeah, I am afraid of heights, but I still put myself out there. So when I did things like that, it hurt more because I knew I was tensing up. So I don't want to say I didn't have fun, but I knew at the end of the day, I was challenging myself to do something that's uncomfortable for me. But at the end, like you said, I chicken out of the canyon only because, but I did see some of it. But I really pushed myself going to Hoover Dam, and I was going to do the canyon the same day. And I was like, I just couldn't do it.
And so, to your credit, first of all, going into the Hoover Dam, going across the bridge, it's so windy, it pushes you around, and so you're already like when you get in, it's like they kind of interrogate you at the gate. What are you here for? What are you this? Do you have any weapons? Because it is a national, like, you know what I mean? It's like a federal, can't really have, you know, and they never really go in your saddlebags, especially if your saddlebags are locked. But in your mind, you're like, okay, I know that there's something in there, but I'm like, no, there's nothing in there. But if
And
there's,
especially with the weapon.
that's what, I don't have any,
I was like, I hope this guy don't really.
anything, right? And then it's like, are they going to pull me to the side and like really try to search? But you know, like obviously your stuff is locked and you don't have to.
And
But
I think he saw my when I pulled, because Patrick pulled up, another pulled up, and I have handicap on my bike, so he was less questioning to me. He questioned him a lot more
and
than he did
and
me.
as a male too. But even once you get past, so now your mind is like, damn, like that was a lot. And then when you first go, you're going straight into a descend, and it's windy and it's slow. Depending on how many people are in front of you, it's a slow, crazy,
No,
like trying to do your friction control.
and even me going into the park, the one I went all the way down to the visitor center and that parking garage,
Crazy.
I was like, these cars better not stop on that hill. I was telling them, move up. What you doing? Go.
Or like I have to go, like people, and that's another pet peeve. And so let me ask you, when I'm riding, I'm like, America doesn't care about us. America does not care about bikers. First of all, when they do those little stupid tar strips, stop being lazy, just replace the road. Because when it's rainy, they're too slippery. When it's hot, they're too sticky. Like, you know what I mean? And you're just going and it's crazy. Sometimes cars aren't paying attention. And I really don't know what the drivers are doing or what's on their mind or what's happening. But when they do stop on the dime or they are going slow on the incline, I'm like, do you know how this works? I can't,
Yeah,
like, please don't do that to me. And then like you're like, if you're on a curve and it's happening, so now you're trying to
the
bounce.
curb on the hill trying to go in the parking garage. And I'm like, it's steep. And
And you're
I'm
like,
already tired because I already just went over the bridge to get here. Now I'm going through this foolishness. So then I was going to do the canyon the same day.
you're
I was like, I'm sorry.
like,
I'm going to
I'm
hit those four corners. And that was, getting there was a little bit tough for me because, again, the ride itself wasn't bad, but some of the bumps. And again, I didn't get my knee injection. So now I'm coming out the seat like hours of it.
mm,
So by the time then, if you've been to Four Corner, it's gravel when you get there.
absolutely.
Then their bump strip, I'm like, why do it have to be so high? I mean,
And
if
it
a car,
can't, depending on how many people are in front of you, you can't really go around them on the other side of like where it's narrow because cars are coming that way. Like, you know what I mean? So I've been a couple times that they weren't open, so it was really just free, but it still is that bump. But then when there are people, like you have to like zoom over it, go a little bit over. And like, I don't think people understand how much pressure your body is really under. Like just imagine just sitting there like this,
trucking.
even that, and just the vibration, like
Yeah,
for days at a time. Like how many miles or how many hours, how much seat time did y'all do a day? Like how did you break it?
it depends. But on that day, it ended up being 12 hours because just to get to the Four Corners, it was 3 hours out, 3 hours back.
Mm-hmm.
So that was 6 hours added on already to the 6 hours I had planned.
Mm-hmm.
So that was planned though. I just didn't know not the damage, but the pain of just coming out the seat
Right.
a lot getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And then on, the Indian reservation. So here's the story. So after I went through that, did everything, we get ready to go. I'm like, man, this gravel, I can't slip on the ground. So I told Kodak, hey, get over that first strip because it was so big. And then park right here and then go back and get yours and come and get me. So the guy was like, you can't park right here. I said, I'm getting ready to go. He was like, but car's coming. I weighed him around like that. And I ain't moved my bike until I was ready
Yeah,
to move it.
absolutely.
Because I don't think they understand what you do and going over those big strips. And I couldn't get around because, like you said, cars coming in, so you can't really go when you see a thin spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you on gravel. And also, I know I have a disability, so all those plays in your head when you're going over those humps. So, but once I did it, it was great. But I'm not, I tell people, I enjoy the challenge, but I'm not one of those going to sit here and just tell you all the good stuff, because I had some tough times out there.
And so it's so funny because I just came across my post. It was the anniversary of my 49 state contiguous, ride or whatever. I notice it a lot of times when I'm like watching people, because I'm encouraged and I'm inspired by people and their trips and where they're going and what they're doing, and the things that they're seeing there. And then, like, I just added to my little sheet, like, I have a bucket list of places that different routes or different things, and I see it and I'm just like, well, and then when I'm going for myself to do it, I'm just like, they didn't talk about this. They didn't talk about like the infamous Angle Inlet, and everybody always talks about hi, brother.
Live Hyper Monday.
Look at them trying to look at it. Even though people talk about how much gravel there is up there, I did a lot of research before going up there. Like, I called to the resort that's up there. I talked to the lady at the store the whole time because it's rainy in Minnesota. Like, so, and she said, like, just check in with, and she was so nice. She was so, Mary, she was so nice. She said, just check in with me, because if it rained, at least that day the gravel's not packed, and it's like,
Right.
and you'll sink. You won't be able to go through. She was like, it's even hard for the trucks, because trucks have to come up there for deliveries, and they create
Well,
wells in gravel, and it's not packed. So now there's all these divots and rivets and like all of that stuff. And I think people go and they're like, oh, the top buoy, I'm going to go, but you don't know what really
and
happened.
that is on my bucket list. So just like with the and I watch your I don't know, was it last Monday or so, or how one of the days I asked you why you up so late, you planning your
Yep.
trips. So I started trying to do that. So before I even went to Four Corners, I went on the computer, see what I can see if I can see the parking lot, what it looked like, because I have a disability, even without the disability. But I know that, certain terrain gonna be hurting me, and I need to be prepared for what I'm going
Well,
to.
honey, sister, child, it's like 30 miles of straight gravel.
Yeah, I got to
And
get through that.
there's curves, it's narrow. Hi, thorough, hi, bro. It's and cars are coming, so they're coming fast, and it's synonymous for wildlife, like bear, deer, yeah, yeah. And they're just there, because remember, we're in their house, like, we're
Yeah,
educated. They live there,
yeah.
so when we're they're all over the place. You in their living room, huh? You're disturbing them.
So that's
And
that's a long 30 miles, boy.
then, but the speed limit is still like 55. Like, I'm telling, man, freaking Ghost, Rear Breed, Chicago, him and his brother came through there with smoke behind, because it was dusk. It was turning dusk, so they wanted to get up there
Yeah,
and get back out while it was safe, because back then we went like COVID time, so you needed a COVID test, you needed this, you needed that. And I remember they said they got to the border and they didn't have something, said to go to the CVS, get the rapid, and then come back, so that wasted
right.
that time for them. But yeah, like, it's I tell it, my I-10 to the end was crazy. I was in a monsoon the entire time, like, you know what I mean. So although we go back and forth across the 10, everybody's experience is going to be different. Just like I keep seeing, like, people having gas trouble. Like, that's the number one thing that people talk about all the time. Like, the gas, the gas, the gas. Make sure you're doing the gas. Make sure you stop here for the gas. Make sure. So in my mind, I'm just like, how did they not stop for gas? How did they not get that? How did they not? But everybody's ride is different, and what your mind is on is different. So that's why I don't want to convolute my mind with sundown towns if I don't have to, because I perseverate. I really do. And that'll just sit right here the whole time.
And I'm telling you know what, and to be honest, that I listen to everybody, but I try not to get fixated, because I don't want to, I'm one of those people that have anxiety. So, and I take medication. But now when I went, like I said, everybody kept talking about, now I've written to California before, but I only did a little part of LA. But I went to, we did the Bessie ride to Oakland,
Yes.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to get a lot of LA because we came up 15 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
So when everybody kept talking about the traffic and everything in LA, so when I got outside of LA, I'm all revved up and my temperature again. I took off my gear because I started feeling hot.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got to Palm Spring and nobody can tell me about the windmills. I was like leaning to the side like this. I've never written in, and everybody say, when I tell you it wind because there was a storm out there. So it's not the wind you usually get. It was wind. And I've never written in wind like that. And then it was cold. And Patrick asked me, why I ain't pull over? Because I was too damn scared to.
Because if I
That's the
get off
truth.
this bike to
That's
go
the
to my
truth.
saddlebag, I don't know if me or the bike are going to be here by the time I even get to the saddlebag. I experienced that in Hell's Canyon. I experienced that in Death Valley. I experienced that all through Montana. So that's what that little red flag is. I think Low Key posted that. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watched the wind advisory. No,
Mhm.
actually, it wasn't Low Key. It was LT. LT made a video about it, because it's all through. It's like on the 40, it's on the 10, it's on the 70, and it's real. If you're not paying attention, that little flag, that means hold the hell on.
Yeah.
For when I finally stopped and I looked, there was a wind advisory. Wind gusts were 60 miles an
Yep.
hour. Do you know how powerful and strong a gust of wind at 60 miles an hour is? Like,
And
that's
you
how,
got the trucks next to you too. So you add that to it.
I'm telling you, the trucks were turning over. Like, they were moving and swaying. So I don't know if they were empty aluminum,
And I
they were.
did see a lot of them empty, and I was trying to get away from them because I could see they tail swinging. I know they about to flip over.
This is normal. That's their normal. Like, when and it's a struggle because you're really trying to fight it without throwing yourself that way when the wind decides want to stop.
Right.
And now
Right.
you're not fighting it anymore. Now you're like, so, but hold tight.
And that added on to the pain. If you've seen one of the videos, Kodak put, and it was like, you was in that much pain. I say, now I get a lot of, why do you do it?
Yes.
I don't know why. I just, my sister said, she said I'm a glutton for pain. I said, well,
No, I mean, but it's worth achieving. Is worth the struggle, and it's going to be hard because if it was easy, everybody would do it. So that's what kind of sets people apart, and it's a desire, and it's like, and obviously we don't ask for inclement weather. We don't ask for crazy windstorms and rain and torrential downpours and all those different things. We just want to enjoy our ride, but at the same time, those things help to develop your skill. It helps to pass on to the next person. Yes, you're going to California, but baby, all 4 seasons are in California. You got
California.
sweatshirts, heated gear, leather gloves. Like, you can't just wear tank top and chucks like you see on TV or somebody at the set about riding through California. No.
You know what I said too? I was talking to one of my club sisters. I said, I'm telling you one thing about it. Um, it helps me deal with my emotions, not just on the bike, but when I'm on the bike and I deal with adverse weather,
Mm-hmm.
or any kind of thing, that's even with the pain. It helps me deal with my emotions, because when I'm going through that, when I went through Palm Stream, when I went through all the curves and things that I don't like, not as comfortable with, I'm able to talk myself. You know what I say? I'll say things like, my club sister Cinnamon did this on a scout. If she handle it, get yourself together, Coco. I just, these is the self-talk.
What's
Like, okay, if I say, well, hey, that girl did it, what made her more different than me? So if it can be done,
it?
then the only thing that keeps me from doing it is
It's
talking myself out
it's
of it. Yeah.
like I'm my worst
I
enemy.
may have to go slower. I may have to do this different, but I can get it done.
And then that's when you come back and you tell your story and you say, you know, make sure you're taking ibuprofen, make sure you're relaxing your muscles because you're about to use the hell out of them for the next 3-4
Great.
days. You're sure that you, and I ask people all the time, like, how comfortable are you alone with yourself? Because even though you go on a trip with people, motorcycle riding is still you're still on that bike by yourself. So you can hit the little intercom, you can entertain yourself a little bit, but when you're in that moment and you really need a pep talk, you can reach out to the next person, but you have to remember that energy is transferable. So while you're nervous and you're scared and you're wanting them to boost your spirits, you're afraid aura may transfer to them, and then now y'all both like, oh,
Now
you
I
know what
got
I mean?
now you know AJ April
Of
Jones.
course.
Now I have to give AJ some dap because when I was really going through it, she'll call or whatever, and instead of her getting on my bandwagon or me complaining and crying, she was like, "Just relax, you got it." That she never, her tone, she never got excited to make me worse, and she just kept, you know, even though I was getting excited, she still didn't make me, even if she might have been scared for me on sometimes, but she kept me really like level-headed. AJ kept saying like, you got it, just relax, you know, relax your shoulder, because I was having shoulder pain on the street light with the wind, and then she was giving me tips on how to calm myself, and
Absolutely.
that really helped, because even though you have your spouse, you know, he don't see, you know, he love it, you know, his love is different from my love. So sometimes it's good to have a female that I can talk to about it.
Oh, damn, see, that's definitely OG in the game. She could let us know some things. I definitely appreciate her trips and her knowledge and like what she shares, and like people just keep it honest, because
Mhm.
every ride is not going to be a beautiful, easy ride.
Hey, hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, sis.
I
We
caught it tonight. I got on here.
That's why I was like, oh, she can
Hey,
definitely
we
I'm
got the
rocking
real
it.
OG now.
we got real OG.
No,
Yes,
no, no,
yes,
no, no.
yes. No,
No,
you can
hey,
definitely do
Piper got me spending all my money now. You know, I'm documenting. I'm doing my paperwork now. So
Okay,
it.
trying to
bad
keep it right.
influence.
Isn't it
She's
a
a very
beautiful?
bad influence.
Wait till your garage has all those
Look,
certificates. Oh,
I have a I Love Me book. In the Army, we had a book with all our awards.
I
So,
got to get on it because I
yeah.
know she's been knocking them IBAs out. I think once I get my, because I've only done one, and I almost did one this time. But like I said, I got to get the knee right because you know, after 12 hours, 13 was the longest in one day. I was in a lot of pain,
Hey,
so I'm
but
gonna have to
hey,
get that
you
fixed
was
before I
out
can
there
get it.
doing it. You was, hey, I like, she talking about all these
that's
helmets
what
she
I'm
got. She out there looking good out there on
saying.
it, putting her sticker up on everything. So now I gotta go find them stickers now.
Absolutely. If that's not a testament to and just like she said, what made her be able to do it and I can't do it. So now, being as though she had 2 hip replacements and a knee, and she did it, like, you can't say it's impossible or it
Yeah,
can't be done. Like,
Hey,
that's
she was out there doing it, and look, you ride to what your limit is and to
yeah,
what your body tolerates, because everybody's tolerance is different. Everybody's tolerance is different. But long as you get out there and you make make the effort,
absolutely.
you can do anything. You can do anything.
And your
right.
experience is going to be your experience. Everybody doesn't want to zip across the states. Everybody doesn't want to zip across the country and get, you know what I mean? You can, somewhere in there, because there's 2,400 miles, somewhere in there is going to be an opportunity to do 1,000 miles in 24 hours.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily try to push yourself to do it, or if you do it in the beginning because you're fresh, you're on it and get it out,
Mm-hmm.
you can enjoy the rest, or that might not be your cup of tea at all. You just really want to see the country, and you know what I mean, and it's all okay because you're doing it for you and not
Right.
any.
And there it is. Everybody wants to do something different for themselves. So you do what you want to do, not what somebody else is doing, because then
Absolutely.
you're not going to enjoy the ride.
Absolutely.
But
And I
I'm
also
going
make
out there
sure
to go do this coffee. I'm going to do that coffee one
I want
time,
to
and I know that
do the
I'm a
coffee.
drinker.
I want to do the Waffle House, the Huddle House, whatever that one was.
She,
Tamika, which one? What was that one? Which one was the Huddle House?
there it is.
Chocolate
There it is.
cocoa beans. Like, so when I'm riding, I like they had you see how old it looks now because I got this when I did the coffee wrap, but you only eat like it's just, it looks like it's like a chocolate covered almond.
Okay.
Like, so
Hey,
but they're
look, because
so
I am a coffee drinker and I have to have that one cup of coffee.
Me too. Every day.
these are so.
I'm going to look for them. I'm
Like,
going to look.
This is the Starbucks brand, but the one place that I went to in Illinois, they had white chocolate covered one.
Look at
Woo! When I tell you, I was like,
I'm all right with that.
I'm not really a coffee drinker, so I got all like the lattes. They had like cinnamon toast crunch.
Woo!
They had like a mocha one with caramel and all. They had one that had Lucky Charms. It had the Lucky Charms marshmallows in it.
Oh my goodness.
It was so cool.
With Jamaica, you need to get you some before the hookah. Hey,
But hey, I have my little camp thing and I got my instant coffee because that is the one thing that I have to have in the morning is
every day. I don't want you to talk to me.
So I've been practicing. I've been going out, sleeping outside and using my little camping set so I can make my coffee, so I can get my camping.
Togi put me onto these, so it's
okay.
It's beans. And
I'm going to get me some.
So so you chew them, but you can actually feel the grind. And I'm a texture person. I'm a little autistic, you know what I mean? So that's pleasurable for me. I'm just like, you know, and it gives me a jolt of energy. So I'm just like,
okay, I'm going to get me some of those. Just so I can have, because we don't want to keep a whole lot of food on the bikes. So we're trying things that don't have any scent. That's what we're trying to like go with. So
so these definitely they're a chocolatey coffee smell. So you want to get an airtight container, just so that they because but they're flat, and I'm telling you, one packs a punch. I eat two, but it packs like I'm telling. When I tell you,
but you got so much energy, you don't need that.
That's what I was
already.
You got all the energy.
My heart was beating so fast, and I was like so excited. Like I probably could have went 1,000 more miles. Like I was just like, but then it was like, emotional and like all these things, and I was so happy. And then I was just like, and then I was like, yeah. And then my last one was like a red velvet mocha. So I can't even.
That's sweet. I know she was going like.
I had to sit down because I wanted like not crashing, but I did have to just like I had to because I was
shaking.
And so I just sit on I didn't even sit on my bike. I just sat on the ground.
Come down.
You know, like coffee places always have nice foolery and like treats.
Absolutely. I'm like, wait a minute. They got They got an SS1000 for coffee? Right up my alley. I'm like, let me go put this on my list.
So ice cream and coffee are usually together, so you can actually nest
do the ice cream.
You can do it together because I'm telling, for whatever reason, all the coffee places I went to served ice cream or vice versa. Like they were together, so you can do them both together and end up with two serves: the ice cream and the coffee.
Okay, I got that now. Mm-hmm.
So now
I saw the ice cream one, but I saw the coffee. The coffee one just caught my eye. Like, wait a minute, coffee? I can go and ride to different places and get some coffee?
And they're so cute. Like they had the one place when they did my phone, made it into the heart, into the look. I was like, oh. I didn't even want to drink it. I was like sipping so, and it was good too. And they had a croissant. I love croissants, buttery croissant. And there's enough time to do it all and still have time left over. You know, because once you're riding, you're excited to get to the next. So you're like,
there it is. And so now, does it have to be at least 100 miles in between, or is there a specific difference? Okay. All right.
150
Okay.
miles. So that gives you enough time to wear it off too.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, but you know what? Hey, 150 miles, coffee's gone. Let me go get
Yeah.
another.
Yeah. Now, what about the one you did with the Huddle House, the Waffle House? What was that one?
Another place that I like.
That's one of my, that's the egg sanity. So,
Okay.
and so I did that twice. The first time it only really had 3-4 choices, but now there's more places. So it's like you can't go to McDonald's or like
Okay.
you
Okay.
It got to be like
the
Denny's.
in the Huddle House, the
Okay.
original Pancake House. It's like breakfast places, like diners, like real
Yeah.
like diners.
So you got to be able to sit down and actually eat. I got it.
And what's so
Got it.
about that is, many ways you can make eggs. So at first I kept getting the over medium egg. I was like, then I got with cheese. I was like, because I really like the browns. I'm a starchy girl, like what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was so tired of eggs. I was like, give me a salad. Give me a salad. 3 hard boiled
Well,
eggs in it. And so that was that.
so long as you had eggs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As long as you
I
had.
can do that. I can do that.
Like, oh, that's so cool. And you get a wild card because, well, IHOP is 24 hours, Denny's is 24 hours. So when you're planning, and I think that's what really gets my juices going, because it's the planning. Because I don't ever want to use a wild card. I want to go with the whole way. So you have to be mindful that when you're riding at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, you have to use the 24-hour ones, because
Correct.
a lot of breakfast places are only open like 6 to 2, like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And it's done. The same thing with the coffee places. Not too many coffee places are really open at 8, 9, 10. Oh, but I found a barista that was kind of like a nightclub, but they had fresh brew and they were open till, was it 1 or 2 a.m.? I was like, hot damn, I'm going in. Like, so you gotta
So that's part of your planning to know which ones to knock out in a day, so you can catch the Waffle Houses and Huddle Houses through the night.
Absolutely. So you'll do because Cracker Barrel closes at
10 o'clock,
Yeah.
10 or 11 o'clock. Yep. That's right.
So
That's right.
like, because it's going to be hard, because you also got to think about rush hour traffic and stuff. So if you're riding like 8, 9 o'clock, like, you know what I mean? That's why, like, though, even though people say like, why you ride at night? Those are prime times. Like
the times that you need to ride, because you can just zip through those towns and stuff and get to wherever you need to get to. Exactly. Yes, because in the morning, that rush hour, I know Houston. Oh my gosh.
Oh, girl, I don't even. I'm still having post-traumatic stress.
I always, my gas stop is right before I go through the Houston traffic. I stop in Wilder, Texas at the Buc-ee's. Give me some coffee and then I zip
gone.
Because you have to, because that Houston traffic is just, oh man, that stuff is relentless going through.
I'm like, where are all these people? I thought first I used to be so stressful about Atlanta, but after New Orleans and Houston and Phoenix, shit, Atlanta, I came back like, this ain't nothing.
I don't like Atlanta either. Like, it's like 6 lanes of like salt. And it's I can't.
But
like,
Phoenix, you can lane split now in Arizona.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you can. Yeah, it came legal. I think it was last year.
Oh,
yeah.
I was trying
So
to
I'm like,
because I sure was stuck in some traffic.
Hey, I flipped them highway pegs up. You better get out my way.
And part of the planning too, knowing where you can do that, where you can get away with maybe 10, 15, 20 miles over the speed.
Hey, exactly. And if not, that motorcycle emergency lane over there on the right, just look for it. Make sure there's no trash in it.
And you know what? I think officers really, for the most part,
they won't mess with you. Don't ride it too long. Put your hazards on. Just sit down, and if you see one, just get back in the lane.
Right. As long
Wait till they leave.
I try not to go more than like 35, maybe 40. I'm just trying to say, like, I don't want my bike to overheat, sir.
That's
I don't want to. I don't.
I did. I got pulled over. He did just like this. He did me just like this.
And then when
I stopped. I was so nice, and I was like, I'm stuck in traffic. I have a disability. My bike getting
Yep.
hot, and then he said, okay, just make sure that you don't stay in this lane too long, whatever. I say, yes, sir. When I got past his ass and it got stuck again, I'm like, I'm taking chances.
And you just said, I mean, and they know that the bike can't stay that long. Like, you have a bigger traffic jam than you have right here. If my bike breaks
And
down,
my bike stopped.
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hey, the tricks from the trades from professionals here.
Now, Tamika, speak on this a little. Now, one of the things I've been working with, like people want to ride with me and stuff, and I know that, but I try to explain to them that it's not that I'm being funny or anything. It's just that you have to. I don't want to lose friendships in this, and I know I have some disabilities, and I call them disabilities like him. I know me. I have nighttime anxiety, so I'm not saying I can't ride at night, but when it's unfamiliar places, I panic. And I really have issues seeing. So me and Kodak got caught riding at night. We was in Alabama past Birmingham, and we was trying to get to Atlanta, but we end up stopping in Anniston. And I
Okay.
was, and my heart was racing, but I realized if I got in the center lane, I could watch the two white lanes. And I try to explain to people the reason why I don't invite people, because everybody say, "Oh, I don't ride at night," and then they ride at night, and then that causes me issues. I mean, I deal with it with my own spouse, so I try to explain to people, I don't want to lose friendship in this game, because if you ride with me and you can't ride in the rain, you don't want to ride in the rain, we don't never, the weather could say. Yesterday I was in South Carolina this weekend for the female ride. They told me, okay, I'm gonna leave early because it ain't hardly no chance of rain. I got
Every
with the entire day.
I saw
So if
y'all
you're a person who
picture.
can't ride in rain, so and I just want you to speak on that, about how you can lose these friendships if you're not compatible. And it's not that a person being nasty don't want to ride with you. It's just that I don't want to lose friendships.
So if you lose someone because your comfortability level in riding, were they really your friend? Because somebody would understand. You know what I mean? Now, if you're if
Mhm.
you if you're caught in a situation where you have to ride at night, like, you know what I mean, because you're not in a safe place, or then they have to understand. Okay, I'll keep riding, but I'm not going to go as fast. I'm not going to. They have to be, and don't tell me that you're okay with that, and then don't really be okay with that.
Right.
You know,
That's
same with
yeah.
rain. Like, that's a crutch for some people, because it's a safety thing. Like, I don't know if you just saw the video that I was in on Sunday. That came out of nowhere. When I tell you the sky opened up, there's people on the other side on bikes. He has tank tops on, short sleeves. It was
And
like,
now people had on, a guy next to me had on the half helmet. He was doing like this because we didn't expect the rain.
and it stings. You know what I mean? So you really just have to explain that to them. Like, I'm telling you that these are, like you said, my disabilities. And if you're comfortable with that, we can do it, because I don't really want to ride by myself. I would rather go with somebody, but I also value your friendship enough to let you know this up front. So please, if we get in this situation, I'm telling you right now that I might be the one who's sitting under the underpass, and you're
Right.
mad at me. I'm letting you know that right now. I am going to be the one going 40, 50 miles an hour in the 65, because I can't see at night and I'm
At night.
afraid. You know what I mean? But at the same time, just like when that rain came down, it turned pitch black. Like, so
So you
so
got
although
it all at one time.
although it was 6 o'clock, you also have to be prepared for that wasn't your plan. But that makes you a stronger and better rider, because you're experiencing things that are outside of your comfort level. So don't tell people I don't do this or I don't do that. It's just that at this moment, you're working on strengthening that part of your ride, because you never want to even take that away from yourself. You
Right.
never
Okay.
you never want to keep it from yourself. Like, I don't want to ride at night. I'm not coming. You learn to adapt, like you said. If it's 3 lanes, if I get right here, because even and it's so funny that you said it, because even when I was riding, when I tell you that rain was so, like, it was so bad. My helmet was fogging because I had changed my visor to pin lock one that I had was like all scratched up because I am a roll sometimes, like, you know what I mean? Like my dog does stuff like, right? So I was reliant on the reflectors on the road. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all be caring about bikers because there was a lot of reflectors, then there wasn't none. And I'm like, what the fuck? I can't see. I'm looking.
That's why I'm looking at the
white
ground.
line too, because I can. And then my last stop was Ohio Pow, which is a national forest. I tried to take a picture. It looked like this, pitch black. There was no light, no sun. I tried to take a picture behind me. All you saw was the little glare of the red light. In front of me looked brighter because I had my brights on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was like this. So I need the reflectors, engineers of the lanes, please and thank you. I need reflectors on the white line because it was raining and I couldn't put my visor up so I can really see. Cars, if you see a motorcycle, be courteous. Go a little bit slower in front of them so we can follow y'all. Y'all are rabid. We need to be able to see.
And put on your flashes so we can see.
Y'all are helping us. Thank you. We're not trying to be up on y'all bumper because we're about to do something to you. Bikers are nice. We're friendly. We need y'all like y'all need us. Okay? Don't leave us on dark roads by ourselves. Just wait. Be a little bit slow so we can see to let us see your red lights, because when I saw it disappear, I'm like, okay, that's a bend to the right.
And that's exactly how I see when I have to ride at night, because my issue is the anxiety of not knowing what's happening. So I use my waves, but I also look at, oh, on the other side they bending like this, so that means this side is gonna bend like that.
Absolutely. You have to use all. I always have my GPS up. Always, like, unless I'm in, and I love right now, I guess with the updates it says offline maps, because when you're in the area where there's no where there's no satellite,
it'll come up.
Your map go there, because and I put it on like the largest thing because it shows the true curve that you're in. Like you, so I use that, like, you know what I mean, because there's a lot of time, and I'm so distracted sometimes too because I'm in my head like I'm like,
she planning for the next ride while she riding.
Absolutely planning for the next ride, and so and I'll see the curve do this stuff like, oh shit, and I check it. But because on my GPS I saw to do this, now I can do that too. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, it was like I was like, we're gonna think about something else. Let me put that over here because I was thinking too much about my concentration. But like, you have to use all of those things because you're bound to be in the dark. It happens like that. Like, shoot, the eclipse was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It got pitchy black, like at 3. So you know what I'm saying? We're like, make sure your lights are on, make sure your hobbies like. And I know that that's the phenomenon, but like, you never know when Mother Nature gonna turn the lights off because she in a mood. Yeah. She always doing something. She make it rain, make it too hot, she make it cold. That's a mood, man. And
that's why even now I don't really, I don't want to go out in it, but I will make myself, because I want to practice sometime, even if it's to go to the grocery store or when they say high wind, just to kind of get it comfortable with that. Because when you're out there, you just can't be fair. If you're a fair weather, then don't plan on crossing state lines, because we don't control it.
He's covered in snow in California. You know what I mean? Like,
I got pictures of the mountain.
People have a misconception of what different areas do. Like, you know what I mean? Just like Colorado has a lot of snow. And it has a lot of like downs and ups and snow, and slippery roads. And so if you're not used to that terrain, just like people down south are used to flat. So when they come up here, like Pennsylvania or Maryland or West Virginia's curves and mountains.
Highway 77. Okay.
Hey, up there, what is it? Altoona. Man, we was up through there. I'm like, what in the world? And it was dark.
But it's not 80. And so in that, because that's 80.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's there. There's elk there.
Yes, there is. Because we saw some on the side of the road. I'm like, what in the world is that?
It's a forest. Like, we're mountains.
Yes.
It's mountains.
Yes. We came through there. I was like, what in the devil? My son went to school up there in Loretto, Pennsylvania, but when we was out doing the 48 state, we came through Altoona, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know this, but I'm like, man, I ain't never did it on the motorcycle, but yeah.
I know it's different.
And so that's what I tell people too. When you're trying to practice strengthening your skills, go somewhere that you're familiar with going in the car.
Yep.
Because one thing you don't want to do is have the extra added tediousness of looking at the GPS to try to know where you're going. You want to know the curves, you want to know the stops, you want to know the stop signs, you want to know the grades, the ups, the this, the that. And if you practice that in sprinkles, in rain, and heat, you already know where you're going. Just like you going to work, you already know how to get to work with your eyes closed. Yep. So when it's pouring down rain, you like.
Tell you what, it's almost like when I hit from. Well, you know, of course, Key West all the way here, 95 is like, hey, I don't like riding in the dark. But once I hit 20 and 95, it's almost like home because I ride it so much.
Yeah. You can practice your dark riding in that little space. You know what I mean? And like you can point out things. Okay, I don't have to watch the white line. I can watch this. Or if I see that the car is this, I know I had that. Just like you said, if the light came from this way, you know you about to go that way.
One other way.
You're gonna, you know what I mean? So you do little things so that you don't have to lose friends, and so you can ride with all the people that you really want to ride with and love to ride with, because you don't want to limit yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always a way to be better without killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you just take those little steps that you're familiar with. Like you said, once I get here, I already know it. So if that means going and get a hotel room and waiting for it to turn 8, 9:30, and you're like, all right. Or if you just go to dinner, you're like, babe, I'm
gonna ride. Be honest with me and tell me what your weakness is, and then we can figure it out. And then and, hey, now I know because you're telling me up front. And look, either I'm gonna say, hey, I don't think it's a good idea, or hey, okay, I got it. I see what you do. We good. So you get behind me if you can't see well. Hey, I can't see well neither. We both fucked up. But hey, I lit up the front of my bike so that I could see in nighttime. So now and that's a happy medium.
Light up everything, but then you have people who may have trust issues and aren't secure with riding side by side. So maybe you have to be like front tire to back.
And that's fine too. You let me know what your comfort thing is, and hey, I'm flexible. I ride with a whole bunch of people, so it doesn't bother me. Because once you see, you learn that person's mannerism. Once you're on the road about 10, 15 minutes, you're gonna learn what they do, what they don't do.
You know how they do.
Good.
And
And I
adapt.
when
somebody coming with me, I'm like, you want to come? Okay. You don't like this.
Look, once I get these knees, once I get this injection, I'm gonna be one of those, because I see you've been taking people getting their IBA, so that need to be on your to-do list to get one.
Where you want that? We could do. I don't have we don't have the 40 in the end. You did the 10. Like I love the 40.
Well, and I didn't do I did 40. I started 40 from here, the North Carolina area, because my first time to California, I did 40.
Yep. It starts in North Carolina. So
nothing is out there. Nothing.
Yeah, and once I got past Tennessee, I loved 40.
Nothing is out there. I'm like, is there anything out here?
I went on the Mojave Desert. Of course, you know, being in the military, you're familiar with that area out there, NTC.
I was stationed out there. 3 years.
Wow.
Yep.
The experience coast to coast for me was the 90. And we did the 90 coming back from
90 sound like mountains.
It
is, because that's going through what?
But
Idaho, Montana, Oregon. Yeah. Oh, but that's beautiful riding though.
Really,
coming down. Oh man. Oh, it is gorgeous out there. I love it.
And that's the way we went coming back from the Bessie ride, because we were already up top, like in San Francisco.
Got you.
We might as well get the top stakes. But it was so windy, a tractor trailer blew over.
Oh,
and
Now that you have to be careful when them signs say windy,
They
hold
mean.
on because it's gonna be windy for 2 to 3 miles. Yes.
It was the tractor trailer, then 3 cars, than us.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
we just like they blocked it off, but they let the first like dozen or so go because the rescue people were. We
oh
almost
my God. Yeah. Now that it's beautiful out there. Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, Oregon, all that. Iowa, it is gorgeous out there. But let me tell you something. Them 18 wheelers running past you
out there
like you standing still. I'm like, but I'm doing about 85, 90. I mean, it's pushing past you like you're not even moving. So just
You
stay
know,
over the right lane. You'll be all right.
yeah, right. Hey, the speed limit start at 80, right?
Yeah. No, but it is. Look, go in the daytime because it is gorgeous. The top part going up to California, up to Washington,
Right.
beautiful going up there. Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous going
I
up there.
think I do one of those when I just take my time and I could just,
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
going for any particular reason, just riding and being able to do it because I need those mid
yeah.
states
Hey,
like the Idahos and South Dakota,
awesome.
North Dakota.
Let me tell you something.
go to
You're gonna be coming down, and you'll see like the little. They got the city sitting up in the mountains and the houses, and you coming down, and it's just like,
it's
man, this is crazy. I'm like, I never
like
thought
the
I would see
movie.
anything
You're
like
like,
this.
I saw this in the movie because
Yes,
I come
yes, yes.
absolutely like Sedona, Arizona.
Oh
Absolutely, all that red
man,
spray.
I was just amazed at how the world is because I'm like, I was amazed at who the hell put a road through here.
That part too. That like it's just a beautiful. And let me ask you this because just like she said, make sure you go through it during the day. Have you ever been the same place twice, once in a day and once at night, and you're just like,
yes,
damn, I know that was
yes,
there. Or like I almost want to do like a series like what you didn't see last night. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
yes.
for real, when we did Angle Inlet and we went through that one town, when I tell you it looked like boogie ghosts were all over the place. And then the next morning when we were coming back through, it was just a building. And then, and then, and then I was like, oh, I knew that was Jason for the Cooper, Michael Myers, all of them just standing over there waiting for the bike to break down so they can get us. And it was
Now, well,
like that. It was so pretty. And like the one part was like really, really like plain. And I was like, something's moving from over there because they put them damn signs up to say beer and deer and all this stuff. Then Teflon saw a goddamn unicorn, and I thought he was coming after us too. And then the next day, it was somebody's extra freaking lot next to their house, and they had fences, and nothing could have got us because
she was saying all kind of stuff.
No, but you know what? In the nighttime, you be seeing lights. You be seeing all kind of things out there.
for
And
real.
then you go back during the daytime, you're like, oh,
That's what that was.
okay. Oh, yeah,
Or
because
or
I'm telling you,
in that same series too, like for when I maybe from when you first start riding to now, because it was times I've been to places when I first start riding, I'm looking straight ahead, and then I'm like, I never knew that was there today. That's new because now I'm looking all around and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never recognized because I'm looking straight ahead, paying
And
attention.
that's what I'm saying. Like each time, so no matter how many times you go across the 10, you're going to have a different experience each and every time you go. Just like you said, you're used to 95, well, you're used to the 20, you're used to that. But each and every time you ride it, you're noticing something different. You're seeing something new. You're seeing because our minds are so powerful. So the day that you went on Tuesday, you may have been focused on this, so you didn't see that. But then when you went next Wednesday, it's different. You're like, oh, shit. Like I just get excited, y'all. Like I really genuinely get excited. Like when I go to sit down, I sit down like rocking, what's the, I'm like backing out the driveway, and I'm like, I'm really, really like happy, and I'm just, and it's so
I'm
crazy.
not there yet. But I mean, I enjoy, but I think, working with the anxiety and stuff, I enjoy. And I do my research that have helped when I watch your video, knowing a little bit about where I'm going and stuff, that helped me out tremendous. Is like just opening up the map, kind of looking at what the roads look like, what I might go through.
Do your fingers and make it big, big, big.
Yep.
These
Yep. So you can
the
see it.
parking lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Hit Google, it'll let you look around. You be like, oh, is that gravel I see right there? Oh, I ain't going that way. I'm going right around that street. Because have you ever been riding and you be like, ooh, nope. you going out and your GPS will reroute you.
It sure
right
will. It sure will. Yes, absolutely. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look.
So, experiences, I turned into a whole gravel lot. I thought, what the fuck? Like, so I had to calm myself down because it was Santa Claus's house too. Like it was a Christmas story, like out there, but it was kind of dark, and I was like all excited about the lights, but I didn't even realize that the road was like that. So I'm like, together, and then that part changed back to regular. But
yep.
Yeah, you gotta like really pay attention. But I don't know, in my mind, I get so excited. I'm just like happy, and I don't know, I like it a lot. Like, but when there's bad stuff, I definitely, even not bad stuff, because everything's not bad, it's just challenging.
Yep.
And it's just different. It's out of your norm, and it's out of your comfortability.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
Yep.
I went here and it was cool, but I experienced this, and I'll cry in a minute. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what happened in the last couple of years. Like, my emotions done got the better of me because I'm getting older.
And that's okay, because everybody deals with things differently.
Yeah.
Because like when I was going up to the top of Maine, going up to the Four Corners part, that was my last point. I was out doing my Four Corners, and I saw that sign say, "Watch out for moose." I'm like, wait a minute. And then I saw those broken trees. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. People were calling me. I'm like, hey, I got to pay attention. A moose may come out on this road. Because, it's one way going, and the road is horrible going up there. It's 130 miles up there, and it's like a 2-lane road. But once you get into the little towns, oh, my God, you see that water. You can see the Canadian border. You see
It's
the sun.
pretty.
I'm like, oh, my gosh. Look, I did it. I made it.
And then it's emotional.
Oh,
you're
my
like,
God.
damn, I did that.
I got to do that.
And you know what? And then I thought about this series too. The first mile. Because you pull out of your driveway, and what are your thoughts during that very first mile versus when you're pulling back into your driveway? That's a very emotional
Absolutely.
point.
Because you're not done until you get back home. Until you get back home. The trip is not done. You're absolutely right.
You put that damn kickstand down,
yes.
And you're like,
sometimes I just sit on the bike for a minute and I just look around.
I'm telling you, especially when I do the challenges, because it's just like, damn, less than 24 hours ago, I was on my way here, and now 1,000+ miles later, I'm back, and I saw this, I saw that, I felt this, I felt that, I went here, I went there, you know what I mean? It's just like, damn, like I'm really strong, like I'm really versatile, like I'm really special, like I really have abilities that I didn't think I did. Because again, when you're in your head and you're by yourself and you're thinking all these things and you're processing all these things, because a lot of times I'm like, what am I doing this for? Like, why am I so out here? Like because I have like ADHD, so I'll get bored. You know what I mean? And about 428 miles, I'm like, damn, miles. So like, what am I going to do for the next 500 miles? I don't want to hear another song. Even though I do concerts. Y'all can book me later. I don't want to hear another song. I don't want to. So sometimes I just turn everything off.
Just to listen to the motor in the pipes.
And
just to listen to the motor in the pipes. I'm telling you.
You have to practice by yourself, because even when you're with a group, it gets lonely. Because over there jamming, doing their thing, and somebody else might be doing this, but you're like, what they listening to, what they doing, like, and you're not feeling that same enthusiasm. You're not in that same mood. So you have to be able to get yourself back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, it's just an amazing thing. And even if it's not 24 hours, even like days that you took, you're like, the last 4 days of my life have been absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So the thing that Facebook has done are the memories.
Oh my God.
When that's why
Yeah.
I take a ton of pictures. Like, y'all might be mad that I post all day, all night, all day,
No.
15,000.
Those memories
And it's
are like, cause I
encouraging.
be over there like, well, what happened during there? Well, I wonder what she did. What was she doing? It's either it's something you learn because you always put a story to whatever's
Yep.
going on, or you
Even
come on live and you let us know what's happening.
when
Yes, so we can learn. Everybody needs that.
you really
Everybody.
do. And just think, like, on the day that you're depressed or you're down or it's snowing outside and you really can't take your bike out, you see those things and you relive them again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like you said, you go back or somebody else is reliving theirs, or you see this or you see, it's like a beautiful thing to be able to relive a lovely moment
Yes.
in your life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can never take too many pictures. You can never, because it's always going to be embedded in our mind. But just that thing coming up again, like when you see, like, just wait till your 48 state. Wait till your 4 corner come back up.
Yeah.
You'll be like,
Or
Yes, because I
what I do
remember.
too is just now, if I look at a map, I go, I can't believe I rode from here all the way
Way
across
over
there
there.
and back, looking at the map. Because when I'm on the ground, I wasn't thinking
No.
about it. I was just thinking about where I'm gonna get to the end of today.
Yep.
So now I can go back and
I saw Amazon. So it's the United States, and it's a picture book. So you can put a picture in each of the states, or
ah, that would be
Oh.
neat.
it's so,
Okay. I'm gonna have to go on Amazon and
and it's
get me one.
like,
Yeah,
Okay.
so I've seen them different prices, like from $50 to $80, or even like she said, if you just got a big map,
yeah.
out pictures, and you just stuck pins in the pictures in the
That would be
place.
good and
Like,
a
you went
way
to,
to keep up with getting your 48. Like me, I don't desire to do it in the IBA time. So, but each state I get, like I said, I need those mid states. I want to do something like that.
yeah, you just make your own, and it's just and it's a conversation piece when somebody comes over. You're like, what is that? Oh, it's not, like, this is my favorite. It's Kim got me this, so this is not. You couldn't
Oh,
tell
Oh,
that's
me.
nice.
You
that is
Oh,
couldn't
nice.
that's
tell me I was.
you had a street light
Yeah,
then. I seen one of your pictures with snow all over it.
yeah, I still got her. I still got Smelly. But you couldn't tell me that I wasn't doing the damn thing on that. And I did it I did it on my Gixxer, but something about that streak line, and that thing was staying on that curve, and I was like, but it was different. It was different. And like, when I see it, it makes my heart smile, and it makes everything. I just get like, man. So when people ask me something, I'm like, you should do it. You should do it. You
You
can
should,
do it. You can do it. Like, I never say no. Like, take your time. Like, take
Yeah.
your time.
Yes.
Take your time off.
Yes.
Ride your ride and learn from
yeah.
other people's mistakes. So people, and that's how you know if people are really for you or not.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't think somebody posted a lot to be arrogant. They're posting a lot
No.
that people can take away what they need to take away from it. I look at everybody's everything. I'm like, woo! I'm not going at that time. I can't, because you
Yep.
see things and you learn.
Yep.
That's how you get to
Yep.
meet people. You inbox them. Hey, I just saw that you did this. You
You know,
free in a little. You talk to me about it.
you know, that's exactly, Tamika, that's exactly
Yeah.
what I did before thought about the Hoover while I was out there.
Mm-hmm.
I called in
No.
and I knew I seen a picture that she was at the Hoover Dam. So that's who I called. And she told me, we not living in fear. But I called her because I knew she was there by Facebook, and I knew she was gonna give me what I needed to do it. You know, like encourage me to get it done. And that's who I did call someone who I knew had been there to get a feeling of what it was about.
So now, Kim, you ride a lot by yourself, though.
Yes, I do.
Please tell the ladies your planning and your process and your, like, how you do it and what gives you the courage to be able to do that. Because there's a lot of women who say, well, I want to do, but somebody talk me out, or I'm trying to wait for this, I'm trying to wait for that. But I always try to say, like, you're in the bathroom by yourself, you're not waiting for somebody to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the little thing, you help them. What can
you keep waiting on somebody else to do something you want to do, you will never get it accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
If I sat there and wait on somebody to say, hey, I'm going to do this 4 corners, anybody want to come? Yeah, 6 months prior, I'll probably have 30
10 of
people.
us.
But by the time it's the day to come, I'm the only one. So guess what? That's
Mm-hmm.
my goal. That's
Yep.
something I wanted to do, because unfortunately, when we was out doing the 48 states, I had to get back home to go to work. So I had 2 days to get home, go to work, be gone for 3 weeks. So I came back. So I said, guess what? At 22, I'm gonna go out and do my 4 corners, and that's what I did.
Yep.
Guess what? I ran into a storm going to Key West, threw water on my bike, and shorted my bike out. I need I need my odometer. So guess what? I had to ride to West Palm. It was still raining. They had the parts. Thank goodness for ESP. So if you don't have it, get you that
Girl,
ESP,
got to
side
have it.
wheel
Got to
package,
have it.
AAA, get all that. But the bike was rideable. So I rode it up to West Palm, got my bike fixed. But guess what? Now I'm delayed by a day because I was trying to make it someplace else. So guess what? Had to make that time up. And so
Yeah.
guess what? Rode 1,200 miles, made it into Beaumont, Texas. And guess what? Next day I was in El Paso.
Yep.
Next day I was in San Ysidro, California, 2 points down. So you have to be what your strength.
Right.
And I ride a lot by myself. So I'm not uncomfortable with it. Do I love riding with other people? Absolutely. If they want to come and ride and they got the time, come on. But if you ain't got the time and the money, don't come out on the road. Don't
Yep.
do that. Because this type of motorcycle riding that we do, the long distance, it takes money.
It
It does. It
takes
takes
money
money, and it takes time.
and maintenance on your bike.
Absolutely. And don't take it to Johnny Shade Tree to do your bike. Take it to the Harley. So your stuff is it's under warranty. And if something goes wrong with it, hey, my Harley, you can go in there, they did my service, they can pull it up in the system, and then they can look at it. Guess what? It's covered.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for it if something goes wrong with it.
And they're like, it was there, yes.
Yeah,
Keep
look, anybody can get out there if you have the courage. Get out there. I'm not telling you to go out there and do 48 states and do 4 corners and go over to Canada and go down to Mexico. Take it small steps, but don't wait on a group. If y'all keep coming and humming and talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, and nobody do it, guess what? You better get on that bike and go do it,
And
else you'll never get it done.
that's how I had to do for my first time riding solo to Jacksonville. It was only 6 hours from here, but hey, it was my first time solo, and it was because no one else wanted to go, and I just got tired. And Kodak was on another ride, and I just got tired of waiting on people to. And I said, I mean, I know how to ride. I just, sometimes I overthink about my disabilities and things, but I know how to ride, and I know around 6 to 8, I'm pretty good. Usually after 12 hours, I can still do it. But if I'm doing day by day, I really need assistance getting off. But once I'm on the bike, I can ride.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, I might not be able to do 2 days solo, but I can ride a day and not depend on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing it. I did it this weekend. I just went to Florence, by myself to try to start feeling a little bit more comfortable without having my husband in there, so that when he's out on a ride, I'm not stuck home because I'm scared to ride by myself.
And then and guess what? Went down there, got rained on, and made it home safely and had a good time. Okay? There it is.
Yeah.
And hey, you doubted yourself for a minute, but then you said, hey, wait a minute, hold on. I got this.
I did.
And hey, this is my comfort level, 6 to 8 hours. Okay, this is my comfort level. I know I could get off my bike. If I need to stop for a minute, I can stop for a minute.
Yep.
You ain't too far away where you can't readjust and get your boundaries back together. So, I tell anybody, it's great to have a group of ladies to ride, but never not do something that you want to do because the crowd don't want to come with you. Sometimes you got to do something different for yourself, because Piper, you on the road a lot by yourself, and you just be so happy. That's why I'm like, hey,
singing, dancing at the damn gas station.
Look,
Here she go.
I'm a How about myself?
This
You
you
know,
go,
I want to
just
go see.
dancing,
You know
just
what? I don't want
dancing.
to hear somebody else's story. I want to say, hey, I'm putting that on my bucket list. I went out. She went out there. Oh man, I got to go out there. So I'm going
Yep.
out there. I want to go see it with my own
All right.
eyes and take my own bike out there to go see it. That's me.
Yeah.
That has always been. And I'm like, once I got into the long distance riding, man, it is
And
addictive.
I
It's
really
very
enjoy the piece, especially when people say they don't like doing the highway. Of course we can't help with traffic, but once we get outside of the little cities, I enjoy the peace. Like rarely
So peaceful.
you have that moment when you get into Houston, but after you leave Houston, then you're going to have that peace time.
Absolutely.
That
I'll
time
tell
where
you,
that's when I use to think and just really, I'm so relaxed.
Texas on the top part, when we was going out to Vegas in
Amarillo.
23, we went up on 82, and
Okay.
it is beautiful up there. Oh my God, those
It's
little
not the little
small little towns.
part
Yes.
out of the
But
top.
I got to go back to what is it, Roswell, New Mexico, because I got to get a picture with the alien. I couldn't get a picture with him, so I got to get that picture with the alien. I
No,
want to sit on the bench and get a picture with
do
him.
y'all remember the on Pee Wee's Playhouse? It was the Flintstone Park.
Yes.
So listen. So I was riding right. So
Did you see it?
did I see it? I almost got cussed out because it was
You
a
got to
group
put that
of
out.
us.
Where's that? You got to go put that. I got to
I
go
was
see that.
riding, and so you know how you think you see something, but you know you saw something. So I was like, yeah! I got out of formation, spun.
Girl,
I
no.
was like, it's Pee Wee's Playhouse. Like I was screaming in my helmet, like
But see, that's the excitement when you see something. You're like, oh my God, look at that. Like I was up, where did I go to? The Red Tails. I was up there going to their annual, and there's a big Nestle Quake billboard. And I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute, I gotta get a picture of it. So I pulled
Yep.
off to the side of the road so I can get
and
that picture of that Nestle
if you're with people who aren't spontaneous and who can stop or who can't adjust or they're gonna be sour butt. I don't want no sour butt because I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm happy. I tried, like there's so many things wrong in the world. The last thing to do is be unhappy on
On
an
our bikes.
Uber. You know what I mean? Like
The bike is the happy place. The bike is the happy place.
so wrong. Like we're on a machine that has no doors, no roof, no.
Hey, the best view ever. The best view ever. And if I was thinking, because I thought that when I was coming back from Jacksonville,
That you would see it.
the eclipse was the following day. So I was like, man, I wonder if because we thought the traffic was going to be horrible and whatnot, but there was nobody on the road. I was like, man, if I could have been just coming down and catch man, that would have been just crazy. But I was already home, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, and I didn't know they had an iron butt for it. I'm like, man, if I would have known that,
You got to
I
go
would have
on the
stayed out a
page
little
and
bit
see all the
longer.
pictures. They got
I know,
iron butt for that.
man.
We should make an iron butt that says they got an iron butt for that. But what's it going to be? It has to be like that you didn't think.
And and I have to go back and look at that list because they updated so much, and I'm like,
Yeah, I need to go. I need to look at it too because I really, like I said, I really want to start getting those done because this seems like it's pretty fun too, because you're not just riding, you're going, you're not just doing 1,000 miles. You actually got to stop. You actually got to plan. Like I'm doing the ride to eat, so I got the stickers. So I'm looking at different places when Kodak not here that I can get to.
it is.
So it was that.
It's addictive.
It was
It is.
ride to eat. 28. Yeah, it was the 2018 ride to eat that I discovered that I've been in every state except from Florida, and I was like, wait, I went to Alaska, I went here, I went there, I went there. I was like,
And you didn't have your ride to eat stickers.
I'm right back there. It's like, where are you going? I was like, Florida. They're like, what? I was like, Florida, because from Hammond, Louisiana, Pensacola was like 200.
It's right there.
miles.
It's right there.
Like it was literally like 3.5, maybe 4. Man, I was like, I'll be right back. Here, I was like, I got all 49 states. And then I flew to Hawaii and then my boss was like, we have licensing. I was like, I'll write myself up. I was like, I'll write myself up. I'll suspend myself. What do you want me to do? What in the world?
But
I
I got to
ever be able
go.
to do all 50 states in the same year? I was like, I'm not going. She was like, Tamika, please. Like, just make sure. I was like, what if I never not have my work done? But I love her. Like, she was very, but she initially, she was like, it's licensing. I was like, we'll have it for a minute. I'll be back. Because something always happens on my bike. Like, it's so
And you
crazy.
can't get it.
And you would think, like, I would learn but it's not even, I mean, just stuff happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because the bikes are maintained. Like, during that ride, my ball bearings came off.
Oh,
Like,
man.
I rode it till the wheel came off.
Literally.
I was like, and I was on the phone with my mom. It's like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, I mean, like it did when I was in Illinois because my back tire blew out in Illinois. And the bike was like, I was like,
oh my
like
God.
that. Again, I was like, let me pull over. And I like put the little light, I turned the light on, and was walking around the bike and I didn't see anything. I was like, I don't see anything. So I got back on her and I was like near Baker, California.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
Lying. So I stayed in the right lane and it's still, I was like, Mom, it's something. So when I pulled over, I noticed that it had separated and you can see the little ball.
Oh man, the tubing underneath. From
the hinge, it came. I was like, so I was a day late for that too. Like, so I didn't get to ride with everybody else to Tijuana. I got there.
Okay.
I was just like, but better late than never.
Yep.
And so that was in May, and that October, I was like, and it is. It's just exciting. You're like, I've been over the world, man. That's what I be thinking. And I like sing it to myself, like just stuff. And I be like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like a movie. It's like a movie, like you're living a movie. Yes. And it's so amazing, like the feeling to accomplish something like so cool that you didn't think, because you couldn't tell me 20 years ago that I'd be a motorcycle enthusiast like I am. Like, love it. Like,
I don't think none of us would have thought like,
I didn't even think I would be on it.
And it's
ride me a motorcycle.
It's so free. It's so energizing. And look at the amazing people you get to meet. Like, I love y'all. You know, and like,
absolutely. Good spirited people. Good spirited people encouraging each other. And
not
and
a
that's what I love.
competition either. You know, I'm not gonna get out there and be like, oh, I saw Tamika ride this and I'm gonna get my spirit butt out there and do something just because she did it. No, I'm gonna do what makes me happy.
Off with that and just like, look, hey, that's that individual's accomplishment. Like, hey, keep going. Hey, I'm coming to do that. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, make sure you put that out there so we know what where you went at and whatnot. Because I need to stop through there and do that. But everybody got their own accomplishment. Say congratulations. Hey, look.
If you made it to the grocery store 20 miles and you only been 10 miles, that's an accomplishment. You rode 20 miles.
I
told Piper when she was down in Jacksonville, I said, hey, if I can't catch it on Monday, her show on Monday, I always go back and look at it because she just her spirit and she is just, every time I see her, she's just perky. She's just happy, and I don't care if her bike is on the back of that flatbed.
She still be talking, still be dancing.
I got me some coffee. She was out
doing. Baby Shark don't click down and there don't.
No, and I told her, I said, well, hey, you got some good coffee, so. And she got the bike back up. She was right back out there doing something else. So, I mean, the positivity. Let's keep the positivity going. For 2024, be positive, ladies. Support each other. Stop the bitterness. Don't be bitter towards each other. Let's be more kindness to people. Now, I know when people see me, I don't smile a whole lot, but that don't mean I'm a mean person. If you come up to me and ask me something, absolutely, I'm gonna help you out. Young lady, when I was at Jen's ride, we was at the party. She asked me to help her out with the spot wallet and stuff. And I helped out. I'm like, okay, hey, but get your phone out. Let's get you together
Yeah.
because we want everybody to be able to document and have things. That Piper said, it's not, you lose the miles when you don't do the paperwork and document it.
Document it.
How many miles, how many hundreds of thousands of miles on bikes I had that I haven't documented.
Or
So now, guess
how
what?
many
Take up
IBAs
for it.
you really did, but
Yeah,
didn't document it because you just
that's
didn't
the
know.
thing. Yeah, I got the odometer reading, but yeah, I could have
I
had
mean,
some IBA certificates. Yeah.
it's not that you don't have the ability to do it or that you didn't even want you didn't really know. So until
That's right.
like
So now, when y'all put the jewels out there, hey, guess what? Let me get this
Yep.
nugget. Let me get
Yep.
this nugget. Let me get this
you
nugget. And that's and that's what it is.
what I like
Hey,
about that
learn it all the time, all the time.
all the time. Like, and so how you said you didn't know there was a ride for this, the IBA is so versatile. If you don't see a ride that you think should be a ride, you make it. You make
And I didn't know that. And I
Yep.
finally got my Iron Elite certificate. I got my certificate for Jen's ride. Yeah. So because I do 1,000 miles every time I
All the
go to
time.
Jacksonville. So how many times I done ran that road?
you
So I mean,
how you did so how you're an Army person, like you can make a ride that I don't know, you go to all the bases that have I don't know a certain word in
Right.
it, like you know what I mean, like
you know what?
how I did Tyler. Like there are 15 cities in the United States named Tyler, and there's one overseas. I went to 4 Tylers and the
Wow.
thousands. So that was it was a memorial ride, but it was like went to
For
Tyler,
Tyler.
Kansas,
Shut up.
Missouri, Tyler, Oklahoma,
Isn't it?
Tyler, Mississippi, and Tyler, Alabama, because I did and so they're all on. So that like city to city,
That is
like
awesome.
you know what I mean?
See, I mean, hey, like I said, if we just sit down and talk with each other, man, the things that we can share, it's amazing. It's amazing. It is
What else
amazing.
is good? Like, so in my mind, I try to make up ones like sayings, like from the rooter to the tutor, or like what came first, the chicken or the egg. So there's an egg. There's egg. Oh, egg is in England, but I haven't found the city named Chicken. But it's like it doesn't have to be chicken. It can be a play on chicken. Like what else does chicken mean? Like maybe hen, like maybe rooster, maybe like you can create rides. So that's my ultimate goal is to create an iron butt that goes on that list. It'll be like that's
Like,
perfect
oh, she did that ride. She gotta go do that ride. She did it. She
Yep.
created it.
It's like retro, he coming up with all the different four
Yeah.
corners. Because I want to do the one North Carolina and then my home of Georgia. And I know you just did your place, right? Yeah.
But actually, Tone did Pennsylvania before me because he did the whole border anyway. So he kind of hit all of those corners, but like it was before the route was like, named. But yeah,
Right.
like that's fly. Like
Hey, that's awesome. That is
that is
awesome. That's
And
all
it's
right.
also another way for people who don't want to ride like those cross country rides. You still can get something great done right in your own state doing the
it's
four corners.
1,100 miles. It's my state. Like it's like 1150.
That's the IBA.
It is. It
That's
is.
why I did. That's why I did it that way. I was like, damn, Pennsylvania. What's like, golly gee. And then like I looked at like Tennessee. Tennessee got some miles on it too because it's long
Yeah.
that way and
Yeah. Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Like and then the wiggly weird shaped ones. Like you're trying to. It's just nice and it's amazing. I like people's creativity and their thought process. Like I'm like. I didn't think of that. So
You
like,
know what? And that's why I'm like, man, that is
Mhm.
man, that is interesting. I'm like, okay, now I got to get over to the East Coast so I can go knock
Do
out
the
some.
four corners.
yeah,
Take out 2-3 days and do 3-4 of those states
yep.
and come on
Mhm.
home. Yeah, I mean that's
So
awesome.
you could do it in your state and do your coast because he needs ambassadors on
But on
that
the
side,
West Coast.
on
Oh,
the
okay.
West Coast because
Oh, okay. Got it.
so you
Hmm.
can do like New Mexico, you can do Arizona, you can do like what I mean? Shoot, Country just did Arizona for real because he did an in-state Arizona, so
So
he can talk to Retro like, hey, I already got it mapped out for Arizona, like what I'm saying, like you can do states that people probably aren't really going to get to, especially if you have the time to like go shoot Colorado, go shoot Kansas. Like,
And we got Dawn White chocolate in Colorado. We'll let her handle that snow.
Yeah, she sure is. She's out there with that
She
snow.
out there.
Or
She's out there with
Kansas,
that snow.
like Minnesota, like people, like this is your opportunity to contribute.
Right.
And great that other people will be riding because of your efforts. Everybody can contribute. Let's get it. Hit up Retro. Tell him like,
You know she'll be up at midnight tonight. Tamika be up at midnight tonight thinking about this stuff for real now.
Okay.
I seen her
Got it out.
butt up late. I'm like, girl, go to bed.
up, nothing planning. Looking at the map, like I ordered a big map, so I can't wait for it to
I
get here.
Oh man.
want to see that so I can do, because I seen one of your things how you was planning it, and I like the way you was putting either posting notes or pictures of what that place looked like.
Yep.
I like that ideal in planning. I think it'll make it more fun for me too, because now I'm involved and I know what I'm doing instead of just waking up saying I'm gonna do 1,000 miles.
Yep. And you can make, so Chris Hopper, so many people inspire me. He writes his name CHRIS. Like,
yeah, and he spelled it out. I saw that. Yes, I saw that.
Done it as big as the country, or he's like in like Tennessee or in like Texas. And so I was like, can you do my name for me? So he did Piper in Pennsylvania, and he'll send you the route. Like, so literally, so
wow.
So you might have to go back since you're already in Carolina and you're on the coast. So if you want to do CoCo, like you would do like down 95 over to I-10
to make my zero.
And then so
that
you
is easy.
back down your O, and then that would be your C. And you would go back and do your O. And then so you would have CoCo, and then so your spot Walla, because you know it tracks you.
Oh, that was pretty neat. See, you can come up with other ideas to ride instead of, come up with some thing to ride for than just waking up and don't know where you want to go that day.
Whatever that purpose may be, pound for purpose, make it memorable. I love miles and smiles. I love memories. I love like all of those things. Like there's so many things you can, if you like lilies, you can go to Lily USA. You can go get lilies, take pictures of lilies, get lily murals, and that can be, because if you do it 150 miles apart and 1,000 miles, you get back. 1,000 miles really only takes like 16 hours.
Yep.
For real, you still have a whole nother 8 hours.
Yep.
To spare. You know what I mean? And that's at an average of like 65 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Right.
So 1,000, like you don't have to speed. I think that's a misconception that people have. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't want to dilly-dally, or you don't want to just like, you know what I'm saying? It's methodical in what you're doing, because if you need that time, if you need to take 3 hours off the bike, make sure the time you're on the bike, you're making it count. You're gassing and going. You're gassing and going. But then if you want to explore this city or that city or this little town or walk around, like when I was doing 1,000 miles to Jen's ride, I ran through Mayberry. I
love that. I love you wasn't far. I love that place. You saw the jailhouse, the car. I mean, it's so nice.
I'm open now. I was like, I used to watch this with my granddad.
You go see the house, everything. See Andy Griffin house, everything.
A few people take pictures out there. I've seen a couple of people take pictures out there, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really is nice to see. And I really didn't know it was a real place, Mayberry. That's one thing I didn't know.
I'm like, it's a real city.
And from where I came from, watching the show now, I go back and I actually hear them talk about Raleigh all the time. But when I was young, I never knew that was a Raleigh.
From Mayberry. That's right. That's absolutely.
There. That a lot of the things are still
there.
Man, that is crazy.
So when you rode back through town, I was like, Mommy! Like, when I tell you, I get excited. Like when I saw that big earth in Savannah, I was like, did I see what I saw?
And I need to see that, because I didn't even know that was there. And I go to Savannah all the time.
drop my bike, try U-turn, get back to see if I saw what I thought I saw, when it was what I thought I saw. I was like, God damn. It is so, did you see it?
Yeah.
My bike is
Mhm.
huge. And it's a Starbucks. It's a Starbucks and a gas station. Like, but beautiful. And they paint, like, I was talking to the people, and then that's when the natives take pride in their area. Like, we paint that every year. We make sure all the lines are there. So and you get to learn like histories. I was like, that's nice. Just like the buoy up top. Like
Yep.
that woman's father built that whole city.
Shut up.
And her son paints that buoy every summer. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
that's why I said
That is crazy.
paved roads. Like, her dad and brothers, and like they
Go what? Oh, wow.
and so
Wow.
it's like log cabins you can rent there. I'm telling you, I called that lady did it rain this week? Is it, because I looked at the almanac and it said that in this time that it's almanac-y, right?
And you need that info
That
going down there, because you get
No.
down there and get stuck.
Yeah.
I was like, hi. We hugged and stuff. She gave me a T-shirt. She made us food. It was like so nice to finally like put a face to the bushes, because I probably worked that little lady's nerves, man. I was just like, we coming now. We weren't supposed to, but we gonna come right now. It's good. Is it good? She's like, it's kind of packed down. You'll be all right.
But at least you got somebody that's up there like, hey, hey, it's packed down, or hey, the gravel's a little loose, but hey, it's still safe, it's passable for you to come. Because some people are uncomfortable riding on gravel, and you just got to be careful.
And I'm not comfortable because, I know just even having to put my foot down on it is kind of not safe
Yeah.
from a metal in my body.
Yeah.
It was underwater almost. Like, so I don't even know how they got through it. Like, you know what I mean? And then so your pictures, they got a good picture, but they couldn't get as close as you wanted to, and so that kind of makes your experience like different too. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you wanna, but I just like it. I don't know. I just get so excited.
Yes.
Hey,
I'm building up. But we'll see. We'll be keeping tab on Jamaica while she do her hookah hay and keep her up.
Absolutely.
Yes, me and
because like she said, it's about finishing and putting our face on the table.
Finishing safe. That is the goal. We are not rushing. We know. Hey, we've done the 1,524 hours. No, that is not what we're doing. If anybody blinks, hey, we're gonna find somewhere safe and we're gonna bed down for the night. We'll get up and finish it the next day. We are not taking any chances. Because this is outside our zone, but I mean, it's not something we have.
We know that it's fun. We know it's serious. This is serious. This is not a play thing.
But we excited. I talked to Pop off today, man. We excited.
Yeah, she'll be in June.
Yeah, because I know she got to come back for something
class.
Yeah, and then she'll meet me down there, because we got to be there at a certain day so they can do the bike check, the insurance check, registration and whatnot, and then we have a briefing, and we head out on 4 August. So I'm excited. I'm just
and this is gonna be the year. This is it.
Man, I'm like, I am just
we
so
got so many eggs in this basket that we're about to hatch into a beautiful blossoming.
Man, hey, we are geeked. I mean, we are really geeked. We're excited. We was talking about it today. I'm like, hey, man, I'm excited. I'm ready to go now.
But you're gonna have to hold that pop off on, because that girl will ride out. Do she rest?
No, we already
okay.
Said, like,
I know that joker,
1,000
man.
miles, but because we know 1,000 miles is our comfort level. So and you got to think about it now. We don't have no GPS, and now we're relying on hey, we we got these turn by turn instructions, so we got to really be attentive to details. So
you got
to be attention to details. So we that's what it is, and you have to pay attention. So that's what we're gonna be with.
And you're not proving anything to anybody but you, Pop off, and that's it.
We have our own individual reasons why we're going out here to do this. This was something, hey, that I was like, hey, I want to do this. me and Thundercat, we talked about it before she went out to do it, and she said she would come back out and do it with me in 24. So, you know, this is for my buddy that I go and see, and she like, look, I told her you in my pit crew. I said you got my daytime hours. So she excited, and she's just like, hey, you be careful when you go out there. And I said, I am. No, I'm gonna be careful. I said,
because
I just want to get it done.
It's
yes.
Because you're trying to read instructions.
Yes.
Is pay attention. So it's like 500 turn left. If you see this, you went too far. So now you have to actually backtrack.
That's right.
As you pass the spot.
Where you
that's right. So that's why I'm like, if we got two set of eyes, like, hey, you know, look, we missed it. We got to go back. So, you know, I've been practicing on going on like my little back roads and doing my U-turns, you know, just an event, because you just never know. You may not have a shoulder. You may just have roads. So we have to practice all that. I've been out.
Practice all that small area movement and stuff.
I've been practicing all that. And that's why I say every time you get on your motorcycle, you should be learning something new. And you should be practicing something. Every time, I'm always doing it. So it's just, we know how to ride a motorcycle. We know what we're supposed to do. We're just going to apply the skills that we've been doing all this time and get out there and do what we need to do. I'm just excited to go up to see Alaska. I haven't been to Alaska yet, so this is my time to go to Alaska.
So now
I flew to Alaska.
Why? Like, you got to, because it's like you.
Yeah. So we going to Alaska. So I'm like, well, I said, so this is number 49. So now I got to get another trip to Hawaii so I can go do the Cessna 1000 in Hawaii.
And I think they still rent motorcycles in Hawaii. I lived there for 6 years.
They do. But you got to go over to Schofield to the big Harley to rent it, to rent it, because the one over on Waikiki didn't have any, because I was there for work and they didn't have any bikes. So
it's got to go to Schofield.
I'm already trying to get me a trip back to Hawaii.
Cause see, Waikiki, their bikes be rented out all the time.
Yeah, and it's tourists. It's heavy tourists out there. So I'm gonna go there.
I was on Waikiki. I went to Hawaii.
On Waikiki. Well, I was looking. They didn't have no Harley there. Yeah. The big Harley was on Schofield when I went. Not last year. Was it last year? Yeah, I went last year.
They had to change again because the one when I was there, it was where was the Harley? It was Waikiki area.
Yeah, I had a road glide the first time, and I had a street glide the second time.
I went out there. There wasn't no Harley out there. There's a boutique over.
They might have moved it then, because it's changed a lot. Did they ever do the rail system? Because they were building that when I left.
They do. It's partially up and functioning, but they was having some issues with it. Yes.
It's 20. Yes. In 22. Well, I did it in 18, and then again in 22.
Okay. Yeah.
They probably gonna change that by now.
I went there in 23, and I went down there and looked at, because I went and pulled it up on the map.
It's Chase Rentals, and it's Chase. What's the other? I forget the other one's name. And you just go online and you reserve it.
I tried to. They didn't have any. I went on there and tried. So I said, I'm coming back. So I'm going to get me a work trip over there. I know we have to go back over to Schofield.
And go to Schofield.
And guess what? I'm going to get me a bike, and I'm going to go to SS 1000.
Do it on Big Island. I think there's more space and places to ride.
And
but you got to be careful with the Big Island right now, because when that volcano, it blocked up a lot of the roads.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, because I was over there when the volcano. Yeah, when the volcano. Yeah, I was over there when the volcano erupted. So
you got to be careful with, because a lot of people got blocked down.
And then remember that big fire.
That was
that went through and destroyed a lot of stuff. So we're gonna see. Some of my coworkers, they went the beginning of this year, and so down in Waikiki they said it was okay, and over by Schofield they said it was all right. So I said, okay, well, if I got to do 22 times, 23 times, whatever, I'm gonna make it happen.
I'm about to say, what the hell we gonna ride 1,000 miles
I forgot how many times they said it. I think it's like 22, 23 times around.
I was about to say, cause I know the whole island. I've ridden around because I lived there.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Okay, well, that's okay. Thank you. And so Piper, you know I'll be hitting you
I
up.
was like, what am I doing? I was like, I can't
You got
because
to ride around that many times.
Yeah.
it's
Well, hey.
H1, H2, and H3.
H3.
Or those are the
Okay.
only three.
Well, guess what, Piper? I will be hitting you up.
I
Hey, I need a route.
have it. I can look. I
And
can pick
H3 is pretty because that's where Obama House at. It's really nice over
Well,
there. But they got they did the Gilligan Island and all of that.
okay. Well, hey, I'm gonna
in
whichever one.
Jurassic Park. I went there
Yeah.
in that zip line. I was like, because some of the props are still
There.
amazing. I'm telling.
Cause see, I went out to Diamond Head. You know, I went to Pearl
Yeah.
Harbor. Cause I was only there for 2 weeks, so I did a little
Yeah.
bit of that. Cause I was like, dang man, I wanted to get a bike, so I could ride. I would take one day and just go ride, do the SS1000. Cause I want to get that SS1000 out there in Hawaii.
I want to say there's only, I think there's only like 4 or 5 of them.
Really?
It's on
Wow.
Oahu, on Waikiki,
Wow.
on that, because it's Reef, Solo, me, I think they did James, and I think there's somewhere else. There's a lot on the Big Island, or not a lot, but there's some on the Big, but on Oahu. Oh, you can, if you go to Iron Butt, you can just type in Oahu or Waikiki, and it'll
Right.
show
Okay.
you.
Okay. It'll bring it up. I'm gonna go look.
Oh, so can I get your autograph?
I'm telling you, hey, we are talking with a legend around here, a famous individual right here. So
I see.
I'm like, yeah, shoot, you can wave all you want, lady. We already know. We follow you.
It's
We are following you, and we see what you're doing.
And I'm telling you, even what I remember, because I was just putting around with the sports that I had, but a lot of those areas too that you ride around on the island, there's no drop, there's no kind of thing to keep you from dropping off.
No,
No
there is
borders.
not. You are absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was walking up into Diamond Head, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
man, that's far. You know, because you take pictures of the city. Oh, man, it is. Hawaii is a beautiful, beautiful out there. And so I told my boss, I said, hey, we got another trip coming up to Hawaii. I'm going to need that.
and look, they put it on your thing. So this is this is Reef's map. Can I turn that around? So that's all there is. It just looks like a big fish.
Oh, did all that to get that 1,000?
Yep. And then this is what the cert looks like.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
gotta get that.
So on your cert, you see they put
all them
and
lines,
they put a picture of your route.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Girl, but look at all them lines going back and forth. Woo.
But I knew they said it was a whole bunch of times you got to do it. So I'm like,
but when I was here, I went into a wooded place that I did because I got tired of this. So mine looks like a fish, like the Christ side, like you know what I mean, like it goes like that. But I was like, I'm not going on that road no more. And so see here, like you can go around right there, but yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Like,
that's a lot.
That's all they got. It is. But that's enduring because
I know it is. I know it is because now you got to count down and make sure and look at your you got to look at your trip and make sure.
And it's congested over there too. Yeah, it's really congested on Oahu.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So at night you get a lot of it.
At night.
I went December, so it was Pearl Harbor time.
Yeah.
So it was tight. Like you can't really white line. I did a little bit, but they have no shoulders to kind of go down.
Yeah.
Like it and thank God for Reef because again, just like you're saying, you want to get the route. He helped me plan, and Joyce was there, so I stayed with Joyce. Like it was just nice. It was just like, and again without the here look they taped some of the ride. That's they just passed it.
Yeah.
Like there's no oh, and there's oh my God, that bridge. I was like, oh my God, no.
Is that H3?
This It looks like, yeah, that might be the 3. That may be.
Because three gonna take you through you got to make sure you look ahead because it's so pretty that you'll be on fell off the damn bridge.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to do that. Yeah, I'm not
It's
trying to do that. I'm trying to just
Yeah.
pay attention to the road and ride.
here. That's what she's talking about. When you look
Yeah.
over that way, but
It's nothing there.
it's no, and but it's beautiful. Like it's just,
Mhm.
I know. Oh my gosh.
You got to make sure you're not licking over there.
No, I'm not.
But
right.
it's pretty.
You go wherever your bike's gonna go wherever you're looking. Like,
I know.
But
That's why I'm gonna look
no,
straight
because
ahead.
we're here, it's just so green and the water's so blue that it like you just keep licking.
that.
Yep.
Hey, my hotel was. I was at the Waikiki Marriott Waikiki. I mean, literally, I could walk right there to the
To the
beach.
beach.
Is where my hotel was.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll go out there and put my feet in the water or walk on the pier. I went to the War Museum down there. They had a lot of these little things down there. So yeah, it was a great trip. I mean, I didn't get to ride, but hey,
But
I'm gonna get over there and ride. It's not a lost cause. I'm gonna get over there and ride. I am. I'm gonna get that SS1000 that I wanted to get, so
I
I can
want my
check it
name.
off my little bucket.
I want my name up there.
you gotta go. You gotta go get.
Hey, it's my bucket list. It's something
Yep.
on my bucket. I have my bucket list, and I'm gonna do it.
You got
And
to.
I said
And it's
I'm gonna go back.
special.
And I said I'm gonna go and do this Three Flags Classic next year. And what is it? The Valkyrie Rally. I registered for that
What is it
this year.
called? I
I'm
want to
doing
start
the
doing
rally this
some
year.
rallies
Rally.
too.
So
I'm doing it this year.
rally's like a scavenger
I
hunt.
saw
Like
you and what's her name? Oh gosh, why I can
Max.
never remember.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kimba. And
yeah, Kim,
Kimba.
yes.
Me and
I
Kimba
saw
did it.
y'all two did it, and y'all looked like y'all had a good time. I said,
It
I'm
was
going to do
so
the ride.
much fun. It's
Yeah.
like, so you get all these clues, but you get GPS
Oh,
points. So
okay.
it teaches you another way to route because not everywhere has an address. It's not
Got
always
you.
123 Main Street.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it could be negative 39.00254 to get you right to that precise point.
Got you.
So
So it's an eight digit grid. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
teaches
Yep.
it to
Yep.
you right.
Look,
Like,
hey, y'all look like y'all had a good time. So I said, yep. Then we go ahead and
and
register
it's
when it
all
opened up.
women. It's
Yes.
And
women.
I was about to say that's another thing that you could talk about on one of your Mondays because honestly, until I saw you um, at one of your Harley meetings or with your other people, I didn't know what a rally was. What I'm saying, like most people, we don't know, we don't participate
Well,
in them.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's something I want to start doing.
they went out and did it last year. Was the first year for it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do it. I went and read, and I'm like, okay, this
It's
seems like
nice.
something that's going to be in Eden, Oklahoma this year. So yeah, it's right up the road. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go down and do
But
it,
there's
and then I'm doing the Three Flags Classic
mm,
next year.
yep,
Yeah, I couldn't do it this year, but next year I'm going to try to do the Three Flags
that's
Classics. And maybe one day, let me get through with this Hoka Hey, and I think I want to try that IBA rally. I think I want to do that because I know they do it offset. On the 1 year is the IBA rally, 1 year is the Hoka Hey. So
yep.
yeah,
It's yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yeah. So I've been looking at it because I follow Ken and follow
I
all those guys. I'm like,
okay.
ooh,
That's my kindred spirit. Like
I, look,
we are as
he is hilarious. He
Mother
is
Nature
hilarious.
gets us both. Like it just be like rain, rain, rain. I was like, I never seen anybody in as much rain as me.
Yes. So I said, wait a minute. Kid, somebody's around here
Ken,
that brings the rain.
uh,
But yeah, I thought they looked like they had such a good time doing that. And I'm like, well, let me do this one first.
first.
Get
Get
a
that big
feel
one
for
out the
it.
way.
And
Yep.
then, and then I want to go back and do the Four Corners, but I want to do the Truex Four Corners. So I'm going to go back and do it again.
I was just
But
looking at that because
yes,
corners were separate too, and I was like,
yep, I want to go back and do it. So yeah, so I'm like, ooh, I done did the regular one. I want to get this one. I want to get this one. So
because
I'm going to go back and do it. So, I just put it on my bucket
that's
list.
it. That's
Put it on your bucket list, and that's what it is. As you get past it, hey, check it off. Like, okay, next achievement, what I'm trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
Do your achievement for you,
Right.
not
For you.
for nobody else. For you.
And that's what makes
And
it that much better, because you're not doing it for anybody else.
no,
But yourself. Like,
and that's
and,
what makes you enjoy it. I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, hey, I'm in the rain, I'm in the cold. It doesn't matter. I'm sleeping on the bike. It does not matter, because that is like my happy spot. That
yep.
motorcycle is. If I didn't have a motorcycle, I'm like, hey, I don't know. It'd be some tough times around here.
It,
I'm telling you, I would
You'll
be
be
a
somewhere
very
trying to
difficult.
bother your kids, and they don't
Hey,
want to bother
you,
you. They don't
yeah,
want to mess
yeah,
with you.
but and my kids are grown. They're adult children. They're young adults now. Everybody's off doing their thing. But that's just like when you have one of those rough days. If I'm not hanging out with my puppies and playing with them, I go off on the bike. And when I get that time to get on the motorcycle, it's just it,
and
whatever I had or whatever was in my mind, it is
It's gone.
gone, because it's nothing but that motorcycle. And I'm like,
nothing.
oh man, it wasn't even that bad. You'd be like, well, why was I all
I was
upset?
all upset.
And I think that's what it is for me, because in our life as women, we
We go through a lot.
depended on, the word. We're like, we're
Carry a
the
lot of
go.
The rock.
weight.
We're the rock,
We,
and we're the foundation of our
we
families.
really.
Mhm.
And I mean, because guess what? You're married, and your husband comes to you with this. You have to be there for everybody. Sometimes you get somebody that's gonna be there. But we have to be there. We have to be the strong person for
Even the
everybody.
adult
For the
children,
kids,
mama
yeah,
this, mama that. What you think
that's
about
right.
this? I did this.
Yes,
So
absolutely. But we do it because that's what we hey, God entrusted that to us,
You know,
but we have the motorcycle that helps us balance it out.
yeah. Right with your husband is a good thing, but there's still times where you just need. It's like how you said, you get back and you sit on the bike. You just sit
Yeah.
on the
I
bike.
just put on the
You just need alone time, because our babies, our work, our friends, like just everything. It's just like, but when you're on that bike, it's you. It's
Hey,
you.
the best investment that I could have did. When I first started riding a motorcycle a long time ago on a sports bike, go fast, fast stop, go fast, stop, go fast, stop. When I moved over to the Harley, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute,
It's a
now I'm
different
on this
life.
road. Hey, I slowed down. Life slowed down so
Like,
that you can enjoy it.
mhm.
And that's what the cruise is. It's enjoying the scenery, not just going past it so quick. Sometimes you got to slow down and enjoy what you
And them
see. So,
saddlebags are for your
hey,
snacks. Snacks.
Snack.
When you get there, you have your potato chips, and you have your juice, and you have your Swedish fish or your little gummies,
oh
and you
my God.
you're
Hey, the Swedish fish, those are my things. And the Twizzlers.
and Twizzlers. Yes, because you like oral fixations, because you need something to keep you up, or sunflower seeds. Pop
Hey,
like
yes,
when you're going.
That's
yes.
Kodak all day having sunflower seeds coming at me at 100 miles an hour. He's spinning it up.
Because they will fly back
They
at
do.
you.
Oh my gosh. This is what I have. I just took it off the bike. Hard candies.
Oh, okay. Good.
I like to suck on them hard candies.
Yes.
I just took these off the bike, but I kind of like half open them a little bit, so all I got to and take them out the paper because I haven't gotten that good. Let me tell you, you talking about riding? I be back there, man. Kodak be I be out there holding on for dear life. This joker be with no hands eating, biting a hamburger, put the zip pipe in his mouth, and I'm holding on for dear life.
I'm the best finger food if you are really hungry are wingdings
Yeah. Yeah.
or chicken legs, because
Yeah.
it really that drumstick, you really can, you put your cruise control on real quick, you bite and like, or you put your potato chips in your vest and you
Yeah.
just eat. Have your
There it is.
you can't you have to practice being able to do one hand or the other hand,
Well, I
or
definitely practice this. Now, no lie, it took me a long time to feel comfortable trying to use my cruise control. But this time, like Kim was saying, try something new and practice on something every time you get on the bike. So I really need to work on those U-turns.
Yeah. Hey.
But this time, my goal was to get that cruise control practice using one hand and using the other one so I can do more while I'm riding as far as eating and not, drinking drinking and everything. So I really worked on that this trip.
See, I'm telling you, wait,
Mhm.
you chicken and fries and everything. No, you don't.
There it is.
Girl, I had my hand out. I had no hand for like 5 seconds, and I was the proudest person ever. I was telling everybody. They thought you would have thought I had you would have thought I ran the marathon.
But it's
I let it go for like 5 seconds. I was happy.
5 seconds gonna turn into 10 seconds. Going like you gotta start somewhere. Like everybody's not hands free. And that's so funny because when I rode with the gentleman to Louisiana, Kevo, he was always in the back of the pack. Why this like you say, Joker? This Joker.
That's how Kodak do. That's how Kodak ride. Yep. And he do the same thing. He do just like this, have his hand all out like this.
Because at the time I had a Yamaha, so I didn't know about cruise control. I was like, how is he doing that? He was like,
That is Kodak all day long.
I was like,
Oh my gosh.
what to do? He had his feet up on his highway pegs. When I tell you, and his little shirt was like, and he got a round belly. So I was like,
He just chilling. He at the house.
listen, your comfort level, you practice.
That's
it.
right.
My brother. Tone, I'm telling you, he had put up when he said he calls me Hyper Piper, and this is really how I am. Like it's not. I don't know. I just be excited. Like so relax. We're going to this. We're going. I know. And I was like, I know. So
He got the
when I saw Pee Wee's Playhouse. Like I just wanted it so bad. He was like, he came up, he's like, you can't get out of formation like that. This is your first time riding with these people. Like we're leading. Just stay in line. Just relax, just calm down. And mind you, I had my house on the back of my bike. I had suitcases. I had
everything.
Fairing on. I had a bat wing on it. It was strapped down. I had a book. When I say a suitcase, I mean a suitcase
On the bike.
I have to put that picture up. I'm gonna have to put that. Solo asks for it all the time. People like, put that picture up that you're ride to California. That was my first ride to California on a cruiser. Like, you know what I mean? Not just and how nice I had tank tops and sandals and boots. Freezing. We went in March. Freezing. I shipped all of that back. I didn't take anything out of that suitcase at all.
Just shipped it home.
The kitchen sink, the bedroom, the dresser, the nightstand, the washer.
Oh my
the wash bin basin. There's like,
I'm like,
I was like,
you didn't know you can just wash your clothes on the road.
Listen, I'm pulling off and Amazon pulled up or eBay pulled up, FedEx pulled up with my Batwing. I was like, I'll take it. And I just struck it. I just knew my bros was going to be able to put it on for me because I had a naked bike. It was like a road team. So I didn't have it fairing. And so when I got there, they were like, but where's the hardware? I was like, hardware? What's that? The screws, the nails, the bolts, the brackets. Who's going to put this on your goddamn handlebars? What do you mean? Where's the hardware? I was like, so I have all that. Yeah, and as it was strapped down as I left, it was strapped down as I went back. And so I sent out. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. Like
Yeah, I know you got talked about for sure.
That's the statement. It was crazy. But you live and you learn. You know what I mean? So now my packing is different. And I promised myself one of these days I'm going to leave my house with what I got on and get on the road. I'm not going to pack nothing. Because even still, I still overpack a little bit to this day. Like I do too. I didn't use this, I didn't use that, but it's the insecurity of not having something and being.
And when I don't take it, I end up going to the store buying it mad because I got it at the house.
Exactly. Yep, that separation anxiety. I want to take everything with me. I don't want to leave nothing. Mackie, God, I want all my stuff with me, all of it. I don't want to leave nothing left behind. They be like, it'll be there. How you know it'll be there when I get back? I want it right with me right now. They be like, good Lord. Good Lord. That's why I gotta get a patch that says Surviving Piper or something like that. You rap is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I don't know what this patch is going to say.
That would
for the
be good. Surviving Piper.
They'll be like, yeah, with her. They'll be like, did you make it back okay? Yeah, because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be an adventure, and it's going to be like.
So before I leave you ladies, I got one question to ask too, and this is probably one of the reasons why I got to get more comfortable riding alone. How do you feel as far as being safe? I know, I have a gun, I'm a concealed carrier and stuff, but those are concerns. I mean, because I have to wean the other one over there to let me ride alone, because not just my fears, but his fears for me. So I got to kind of start working on that piece.
I mean, hey, I ride along, but hey, I'm by myself, but I ain't by myself. Okay, so
Hmm.
I'm a concealed carry holder.
Yeah.
I'm out here in Texas, but I've never had no issues. Never had no issues on the road. I don't bother nobody, so you don't need to bother me. I'm not riding erratic on the road. I'm following. Hey, car. If you want to go past, go ahead, go
Yeah.
past. I
And
mean,
I'm one of those, I will get on out the way and
yeah.
let them go past, because I'm not in a rush to do nothing. I know I can't beat you.
Yeah, well, and there it is. I mean, it's just, you know, look, you have I have a weapon. I don't want to have to never pull it out to use it, but know that if I have to use it, then
I'm going.
I'm coming home safely. That's
Right.
the ultimate thing. So, but I've never had no issues. I really
I only have,
never have.
and that's what I was telling little mom in the beginning, and that was in Nebraska. Like, and I don't know if they were just playing with me, but it was a pickup truck full of like young boys. Like, you know what I mean? They kept trying to like run me off the road. Like I would go over here, they would go over there, like, and they were in front of me, they would stop. They were real close behind me. They were just like playing for about, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe like 5 miles. It seemed like forever to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
they man just been kind of scary. But like Kim, we have helmets on and gear. You can't really kind of differentiate who's really underneath it, except maybe when we get off or we lift it, or like maybe sometimes our body shape may be a little bit different, but like nobody's really out to get you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you
Yeah.
walk with confidence, like go in, get your gas, get your receipt, and walk right back out. Don't look lost. Don't look confused. Don't look dazed or startled, or like you don't know, because that's when people pick up on, and don't seem afraid, because people pick up on that energy. Like, oh, I can get her. And don't talk too much. I talk too much. I talk way too much. I'm like, because we're women. Like, once we
Yeah.
do go in the store, we live for, you rode that bike? No, I didn't ride that bike. You rode that bike off? That's Pennsylvania. You rode that bike all the way out here by yourself? No, I'm not by myself. My club sister is
Yeah.
up at the next. I just stopped here because I left my receipt. I'm going to meet them right now.
Right.
There's like 6 for me. You never disclose, but I had to learn that because I'd be excited. Yes, and I'm going down this, and because it really is.
Just telling
It's
everything.
yeah, but they were like, "Are you stupid? Are you stupid? You don't tell, like, don't do that now." And because I'm not a mean or malicious person, so I don't have those thought practices or tendencies to be harmful to someone. So when I ask people stuff, I'm asking out of genuineness. Like, so when people are really asking me, I'm thinking they're really interested, or it's a genuine question, like, oh, you're by yourself, like, that's really brave, that's really this. But there
But
are predators.
now there are some people that's out there. Now, and you can kind of weed through too. You have the little elderly white lady with her husband, that you can kind of tell they're excited
Has
about
to
you.
be trying to get you, because like you just said, they don't seem like that type. So then they just get you and they go in your pocket and get your M&Ms, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true too.
the ones that you least expect are sometimes the ones that are out there. So if you keep your interactions limited because you are by yourself, and really you should be keeping to your schedule because people are watching you. People are expecting you to be at this next place at this time. People are watching your location like, hey, why you at that gas station for 25?
Yeah.
That's way, like, you talking to somebody, stop talking to them. Get moving.
Yep.
You got to go down the street and turn that way before you go. Look, make sure nobody came out the gas station behind you. Make sure the cars are changing and there's not someone following you. Like that,
Yeah.
because I was really naive. I still probably am, like, to a certain extent, like, because I don't want to live in fear.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be hindered by someone else's deviousness. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I just pray, like, God, like, please don't let something I love be a demand, if you will. But I guess if it is, at least I'm doing something that I loved. Like,
That I love. Yeah. Because I don't want to, that's what Jan was trying to tell me. Don't live in fear. You know, I got to be safe, but not live to the point where, you know, I didn't even attempt to go to Hoover Dam because I'm letting what I think
we did Hoover Dam
psych
together.
me out.
We did Hoover Dam together. That the year I broke down because my bike was I broke down in Baker, California. They had to tow me backwards to Las Vegas, Harley, and that's when I met Preach in person. That's our
Yeah.
anniversary. Preach, this week is our anniversary. And then Jim was still there too because she was coming from, like, the riding, like we did Hoover Dam and stuff
Right.
together. But it's nerving, and she'll tell you we were riding like this. Like on that one, I think I still have pictures in my phone. I gotta look
Because I
at
know
that.
that's why I saw her. I remember her pictures and that I remember to call her and talk to her about it.
Yep.
Well, hey, chick, I'm going to go out here and sit in the garage and aggravate he think he's safe from me, but I'm about to go aggravate him.
So I love it.
Hey, this 30 years in the work.
Yes.
But I appreciate talking to you and I can't wait till I get You Survive Piper.
Yes. So thank you all for tuning in today. We will see you all next Monday. Piper.
Bye-bye.
Bye.